spare part canisters.
Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casual Rage 37, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. And unfortunately, there hasn't been too many topics this week. It's been a very, very slow news week, especially for Star Wars, which is quite surprising when for weeks on end we were getting bullshit things like Rey being able to force heal minds and shit like that. So it's been an interesting week. It'll probably be a little bit of a shorter stream because there isn't so much to talk about, but we'll get into it. Let's quickly say hello to our guests. We've got John China, a.k.a. Tuscan Bob, a.k.a. Lost Jedi 22, a.k.a. Greg. Jesus Christ.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
That's
Busy
good.
day,
You're
but-
busy day. You ready for a good stream?
I am, sir. I am.
Awesome. Well, welcome. And Tim, welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. And, I have something to admit tonight, and it's hard. I'm a racist. I made a 46-minute documentary on the history of canon and what it means and why it's important and why the original Star Wars is still canon. And I found out this week that adherence to lore and all that is racist, or at least it has racist overtones. So I don't know
Not
what to
just
say.
racist, it's white supremacist.
Yeah. So sorry about that, everyone. I'm just sorry.
Yeah,
That's all I can say. Sorry for that documentary that almost has 500 views at this point.
Yeah,
Go watch it if you haven't, by the way.
Please do, because it's very good. I'm racist too, but I'm only racist because I'm white. So, anyway, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing very, very well. Hopefully, Ancient One doesn't show up in the chat, so I don't have to say his name.
Ancient. Yeah.
Oh, that was so embarrassing last week. I had to bring it up because I'm so embarrassed by it that it took a whole week and it's still in my head. So, Stunning and Brave Megatron, hashtag Rhinotron. Yes, it's been a little while since we've had a bit of a hashtag Rhinotron going. Miss Martin Muses, she's in the chat, and she also sends me $1 and a rose. Thank you very much, Teresa.
Nice.
We appreciate you. Stig Kenobi, the great and powerful Stig, is in the house. How you doing, Stig? Rhino from Blake Sinclair. Hello. Michael's here in the chat. G'day. We got Wing Zero. Who else? Cell Shade, who made this amazing T-shirt, by the way. If you didn't notice, it finally came. I got my Narratives Fucked T-shirt, and I got my Narratives Fucked mug, and I'm ready to go. I'm still waiting for the pillow, and I'm getting 2 other T-shirts as well. So Cell Shade, he's awesome. I'm going to actually probably talk to him about getting a few other things done. But yeah, I'll be in touch, Cell Shade, but he's an awesome dude. We got Soul Assassin in the house. We've got Steph, my nerdy homes here. Hi, Rhino. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? I hope you're well. Alex, we got Riff Magos, one of my loyal patrons. Thank you. All right. Basically, look, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, which was, 4 minutes ago, there hasn't been a lot of news. And I thought I'd just take this opportunity to sort of show, what are you doing, Charles? Sort of show what the news has been like for Star Wars over, a decent period of time here. So I just went to Betting in a Comics because I went to this last night. And I'm like, man, what Star Wars news has there been? And I couldn't find anything. I saw a little bit about John Boyega, which we will get into, about his statements of basically what needs to happen for him to come back to Star Wars, which is quite interesting. But just going through, I mean, you had J.J. Abrams talking about not having a plan. got Daisy Ridley rumored to be coming back to her role in Star Wars. You've got the Bad Batch, which is absolute garbage, and we'll get into more of the Bad Batch tonight. I know, Tim, you wanted to talk a little bit.
Oh yeah,
about
I've got the page pulled up from Wikipedia. You know, I went through it and I'm like, holy shit!
Okay.
Like they appropriated so much shit. Like, yeah, with the train die, I'm like, oh, I hate Dave Filoni.
Yep. I'm with you. And I used to be one of those people that thought that Dave Filoni could have been the savior of Star Wars, like back before Clone Wars season 7.
Yeah.
Back when I thought he was doing a good job.
He lost me at Helicopter Sabers.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost me with what he did to The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorians.
Rebels, I did enjoy it. There were parts of it that were good, and there were parts of it that were obviously horrible. Helicopter lightsabers. Yes, it is the Dad Batch Soul Assassin. Then we also had, of course, the Heart of the Jedi novel beating everything that Disney Star Wars is doing. We had Lando and his LGBTQ-ness. We got more of the Bad Batch. We've got Freddie Prinze Jr. being an absolute fucking tool, as he usually is. Let's see what's on the next page. Like, this is what Star Wars has become. It's not about, you got some of the, what's this? That's Bad Batch stuff. Okay. Oh, about the Kanan Jarrus and the scene. Like, this is another thing. They've got to try and bring their characters into play with, their canon. Now, of course, if they want to keep it something like the MCU, then that's fine. But when you've got the Bad Batch, you got Fennec Shand in the Bad Batch, the only bounty hunter that you see, and then you got Fennec Shand in the Mandalorian, the only bounty hunter that you actually see, and they're lifetimes apart. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, before I go any further, I'm actually going to take this down for just 1 second. Before I go any further, I'd just like to introduce, I hope he's okay to come on. We've got a very special guest here. This person, he has helped me a lot throughout the growth of my channel. I remember watching him constantly on his live streams. He did his midnight hour streams and they were amazing. Just being able to sit there and listen to him talk and interact with this guy was really, really cool. I remember shooting him a DM of my Damage the Disney Star Wars Trilogy Does video. And I just asked him in the back, when you get a chance, can you please watch it? Well, he happened to read that while he was on stream, and he decided to watch. He goes, I'll watch 4 minutes of it. He saw how long it went for. It was a 22-minute video. And he goes, I'll watch 4 minutes of it. So he puts it on the stream, and he sat there for 8 minutes. And he would have sat there and watched the rest of it. But he didn't want to take any clicks away from me. Anyone that was watching it, enjoying it, can go and watch it. But I think he didn't it was one of those things where our friendship sort of blossomed from that moment. And it was really cool. It's really awesome. And that one and only person is, of course, John Talks. Hello, John. I hope you're there.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Doing good. Sorry I'm late.
No, that's all right. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, my sleeping schedule's all jacked, and I just got up not too long ago. So
that's all right. My sleeping schedule's the same. But how you been, my friend? What have you been up to?
Just staying busy. Busy. Yeah.
Making some awesome videos over there. I know you've turned to politics, but it's still awesome. I love watching some of your Biden clips, and they're great.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to I've got a couple other channels. I'm gonna try to get those rolling. So yeah,
I actually watched one of your videos last night, the one about how much you made on that 1 million view video. And I thought that was really good. It really puts it in perspective for people. I thought it was excellent. And that's on one of your other channels, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
on
John
Talks Life.
Yep. Yeah. So thanks for plugging that. Appreciate it. But
any help.
It's always good to be here. Good to see Lost Jedi and Open Airlock.
What's up, John?
I catch some of your guys' streams a little bit every now and then. When my sleeping schedule is pretty messed up, which is most of the time. So
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid politics, but I'm going to say fuck it tomorrow night because there's so much to talk about, So if something happens, something happens. And I'm 600 hours away from 4,000. If I get nuked, fuck it, because there's so much to talk about this week in politics and liberty. So that's what Greg and I are going to do.
Speaking of politics, I just need to, from my point of view, in my country right now, you've probably all heard that Victoria's gone into lockdown, this snap lockdown, 7 days, and we've just been extended another 7 days because we had another 5 cases.
It's circuit breaker. You got to use the right.
It's a circuit breaker lockdown. Circuit breaker lockdown. The government has decided to come to the party in regards to giving full-time employees $500 a week, which is enough for me to shit and wipe my ass. So basically, look, this whole thing right now.
What kind of TV are you using?
And don't eat Mexican food either.
I was being hyperbolic, all right? But it's just ridiculous. Like this whole lockdown thing, the world that we live in right now with, everything from fucking you being a Yahtzee to who knows, like fucking us being locked down and basically being imprisoned in our own homes by the powers that be. I'm over it. I'm so over it.
Hey, now if you're a really good boy, you can go 5 kilometers away to get food. If you're a good boy.
I'm allowed to travel 5Ks out of my
but
not
not 5.01K. 5.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It really is ridiculous.
I'm shocked.
Well, John, we've had 60 cases over the course of, I think, the last 3 weeks. And this is why we've gone into a circuit breaker lockdown.
Yep, circuit breaker. Got to call it right.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it seems like we're so far into, like, for lockdown now. I mean, I think people, I don't know. I think people in the States here, I mean, certain states would just, they just flip out if they got another lockdown at this point. But it seems like you guys are about there.
We are there. We're already there. We're already at a point where, and this is the thing that doesn't make sense to me. You've got other places around the world that have got way more cases than what we've got.
Right.
Way more problems than what we've got, and yet we're doing this to our economy, to families.
Yeah.
Fuck the economy at this point in time, and I hate to say that because the economy is very important. But like, if you're gonna lock me down like this, and this is very new for me too, because last year when we had that 6-month lockdown or however fucking long it was, I was still working because the job that I was doing back then come under essential. Mm-hmm. Now I've been sitting at home for a week. I ended up sick. These are the things that happen because you start getting frustrated, you start getting stressed, you start getting worried about money, you start getting worried about this and that, and it starts to build up on you. Mm-hmm. I hate to start the stream off but we'll start it with this because then we can get into some more, well, I suppose, positive stuff. Tim, you look like you wanted to say something.
You're very perceptive, but 2 months, if we announce that here in some states, it's almost like we'd have a summer of riots, which has never happened. Well, 2020, never mind. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let me ask you this, Rhino, compared to other states, what is Lethal State doing? What's compared to Victoria? What's going on?
Well, Lethal State gave us COVID. But besides that, like the other states, they don't have this little outbreak going on. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. They've got their own hotel quarantines. They've got their
60.
Yeah, I know. They've got their detection stuff. Out of 7 million people in Victoria, 60 cases. And we go into a circuit breaker lockdown. I noticed that a lot of people didn't actually understand my tweet, so I'm going to explain it. I wrote, because you can't hear what I'm saying, I'll let my T-shirt do the talking. The narrative's fucked. So everyone started saying, take that fucking mask off. And I was like, I'm in my backyard. Of course I can take the mask off. The whole point was to have the mask on to say that you can't hear what I'm saying. So anyway, it was supposed to be a joke that I think it just went
Everybody got lost
over everyone's head. So anyway, I just wanted to show that.
Yeah, everybody thought
yeah.
that you were like a serious masking person.
A little too nuanced for them right
Yeah,
now.
that's
Little too
right.
nuanced.
Didn't quite get paid.
So
off
bottom
the way I
line,
wanted it
Victoria
to.
is the most draconian state right now in terms of COVID-19 in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
But based on the numbers, like, do you know how easy like a 60-person outbreak can occur?
Mm-hmm.
Like in anything, because I'm like, there's 2 other states in Australia that are fairly largely populated, other than Victoria, and they could easily have. My question is who are the idiots who are getting tested?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. Like, sorry, I'm just
Like, you're not
say hello to
testing
some of
me,
the other people
so
in the
you
chat.
can then throw me out of my job. Screw you.
Well, okay, this is the thing. I was sick this week, right? I had a sore throat. I had a cough. I've still got a cough. I got some butter menthols here just in case I get into a cough fit. I've had a runny nose. I've been all blocked up and all this kind of shit. And do you honestly think that I'm going to go and get tested? Do you honestly think that, okay, so I could have COVID, right? But I'm not going to go and find out whether or not I do or don't. And I'm not going to give them another case so that they can lock me down and keep me away from work.
There you go.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't understand why anybody voluntarily gets tested at this point.
I would rather get sick and take sick leave days than be forced into lockdown and have to take my annual leave days to be able to pay myself.
Right.
You know, because the sick days are free. The annual leave days I've got to take out of my own pocket, right? In a time when the government's making me not allowed to work. It's just ridiculous. We live in such a clown world. The narrative is fucked, ladies and gentlemen. Get your fucking merch today.
Well, and look what Rini is saying. Not only was that accurate last year, but now we have that enzyme treatment. Is that what it's called, Greg?
Yeah, I want to say it's infusion.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is.
It's antibody, I think antibody infusion therapy.
Antibody infusion. Yeah, that it makes the survivability even higher. So for us to get all paranoid about this is
relatively
irrational.
early. If they're already like hospitalized and on a ventilator, not so much. But like, by the way, that's the treatment that the president received.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
what's the medicine that he used?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, that's it. I know 2 people that used that when they came down with COVID. They stayed in a nice warm room and they recovered within like a week and a half, no problem. Now, certain people are going to be more susceptible to it, but it's nothing it's not like this terminal disease that has a 95% mortality rate. So what is all the paranoia about? I haven't understood it to this date. So
yeah, and to just to prevent people from being able to make a living and live their lives for such a minuscule number. I like your state is acting like it's 18 months ago almost, or 13 months, 15 months ago, let's say.
Kind of is.
They're basing their information or their actions on what we knew 15 months ago. Like I said, the president got that treatment, by the way, before the election. So that puts it like in October. Mm-hmm. So you have October, November, December, all the way to now to June. So that's a treatment that he received 8 months ago. Like, we're much better at treating this disease than we were initially because we know a lot more about it. Mm-hmm. And so that even lessens the risk. Like, I really don't understand.
Yeah, well, Terminus asked, like, what's the go with the jabs over here? Is anybody getting forced to get them? No one's getting forced to get
Trump.
Excuse me. No one's getting forced to get them. They keep saying that these vaccination stations that they've got set up are all like packed out. There's 4-hour waits and stuff like this. I mean, I drive past the one that's here in Craigieburn, and I just doxed myself. And there's nothing. There's no one in the queues. Nothing's going on there. It's like, I actually think that not only did this circuit breaker lockdown have to do with extending the state of emergency, but it's also got to do with getting people vaccinated. Go get your vaccinations. Then you can be free. You've still got to wear a mask. And if we tell you to lock down, you still got to lock down, but go get vaccinated. It'll help.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this, Rhino. If you're vaccinated, would you still be out of work?
No.
If you were vaccinated,
because the dealership that I work at's closed. The sales department's closed.
You would still be out of work if you were vaccinated. So there's to say that you'll be free if you're vaccinated is not
false.
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
not true.
Any thoughts, John? I know you've been getting into the politics a bit.
Oh, I'm just, I'm all for liberty. People should have the choice whether or not they want to get vaccinated. If they run a business, whether or not they want to make it mandatory for people to wear masks or not. That should be up to a business owner. I think it should be up to people if they want to wear a mask or not. I think that should be a personal choice. I don't have a problem if people feel more comfortable wearing a mask. Just don't make it mandatory for everybody else. And as far as the government goes, there's just a lot of things where they're infringing on our freedoms, and we're just taking it.
Yeah.
We don't, and it's little by little. It's not gonna. It's not. You don't lose freedom and liberty. They can't do it in one big. They're not gonna just, when it comes to the Second Amendment, they're not just gonna take away guns overnight. It's gonna be a bunch of little policies, a little here, a little there, and it's just been disheartening for me to see people just go go along with it and just literally say, yes, please, government, save us. You're our only hope, So
it's
little Star Wars reference there.
Yeah, it's so funny though, because it's kind of like Palpatine in a way, isn't it? They're sort of slowly taking away all your little bits of freedoms and this and that, and eventually you're going to have nothing, and they're just going to be running everything, aren't they? It's a bit like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy to see a lot of, some of the governors here in the States and people, there's been some pushback, which is, thank God we've had
good, overdue. But
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, let's get off that. Actually, I do want to talk about one other little thing that's grabbed my attention this week within the community. If you're on the panel and you don't feel like speaking on it, that's totally fine. I completely understand. But I just wanted to, we'll get back to some of the Star Wars stuff and some of the actual topics and everything. But this whole thing with Geeky Pixie and this guy Jared, and I've seen that somebody's gone after someone, or there's been a few people in the community that have gone after a few people. But there's one particular person that I've noticed, and that's Geeky Lizzie. Okay? Now, there's one thing about the internet that I want to just point out. There are thousands of people on the internet that don't show their faces. There are thousands of good people on the internet that don't show their faces. Now, just because within the community we've had one person infiltrate, and I'm sure there's not just the one. I'm sure there's probably more than one that have either tried or that are already in the community, right? But whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? I mean, these people are going after this person like, I just can't believe some of the things that I'm seeing. I'm kind of glad that I've taken a step back from the community a little bit. I still feel like I'm a part of the community. You guys in the chat, you're a part of my community, right? John, I respect everything that you do. I mean, right now, I'm the only one on screen. Does that mean that these people aren't real people? No, I mean, you've seen their faces. We know that they are real people, but...
Well, I'm not really John China. No.
What?
I'm not...
I was under the impression because it said that you were.
Sorry.
So I don't know. I think people just need to cool their jets a little bit. I think you know, if you feel like there's a person out there that's tried to infiltrate your community, your little corner of the internet, or something like that, and you find it out, and yes, it's true, and you can call it out. Well, call it out. People need to know that these trolls and these fucking assholes or whatever are out there, right? But until that point in time comes, you know, I don't see people going after Yellow Flash. I've never seen his face. I don't see people going after just some guy. I mean, I've never seen his face, and he assumes that he's black. I don't know that he's black.
Don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, it don't matter.
That's exactly right. I don't care, right? So that I just needed to get that out there. I need to say to the people that are going after, it's almost like come up with, your content has now become drama, right? How about just making the content? How about just getting back to the content? And fuck all this other bullshit stuff. You know, I've seen a couple of videos from Geeky Lizzie. She's pissed. She looks like she's about to cry because people are coming after her and attacking her and saying, oh, I think that... Why? Because her first name of her title of her name is Geeky? The same as Geeky Pixie? Remember what's that chick's Geeky Candy, who used to work for Geeks and Gamers? What, just because it's geeky something, it means it's fucking Jared? Fucking get your head out your ass. An assumption makes a fool, you know, out of you and me.
I think it's when you
kind of biffed that line there.
Yeah, unfortunately. I know I did.
Make like a tree and get out of here.
That's why I kind of stopped and went to go again. But
Doxing, biffing. What's next?
Didn't really work. Before everybody else says, I just want to get to this because this was based on the other topic, a topic that we were just talking about before. Phil's Queensland here. Crook as a dog, which means he's sick as a dog or sick, if you don't know. And let me read it from here. And I'm only getting a test if I'm in the hospital. Until then, I just have the lurgy. The lurgy. I have sugar-free toast.
The lurgy.
Sorry.
I assume that's allergy.
What?
I assume he's saying I'll just have the allergies or something.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Or he has loogies in his throat, you know? I don't...
Until then, I'll just have the loogies. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because he's got the apostrophe there. See how bad I am at reading? I have sugar-free throat lollies, 100 out of 100. Yes, well, I have those too, except I don't know if they're sugar-free because they're butter menthol. But thank you for the $5, Phil. And again, I apologize for butchering it. I am going
Careful about eating too much of the sugar-free candy.
I'm going to give you this one.
All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
There you go. Thank you for the super chat. And we've got another special guest who just happened to show up out of nowhere. She's the one. She's the only. She's the beautiful Stephanie, my nerdy home.
Oh my god, that was so cute.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Hey, what's up, Steph?
Good.
I'm sleepy.
You're sleepy? It's the middle of the evening.
Yeah, I'm really tired. I work a lot.
You work a lot?
It's not really the middle of the evening. It's bedtime for most people.
It is.
Yeah, it's 9:47 p.m.
Yeah, it's almost 10.
Not my bedtime, but it is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, Mara. Rhino doesn't English good.
Truth.
How are you, Steph?
I'm doing good.
What's been happening?
I've had a lot of spare time because I'm not really working on too much overtime anymore, which is good. So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be doing any videos soon?
I hope so. I'm getting back on my regular schedule. So, yeah, I used to be having to work 12-hour days, and that just killed me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you been listening to what we've been talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So I've said my piece on this. If there's anybody on the panel that wants to say anything about this Geeky Lizzie thing or this this drama that's going on out there, either elaborate or tell me that you don't want to say anything.
Yeah, I got something to say.
All right, go for it.
First thing I want to do is actually issue an apology to someone out there in the community. And the reason I want to apologize is not because I necessarily did anything wrong. It's that I saw wrong was being done, and I knew it was wrong in my gut. I saw it. It disgusted me. And I kind of I feel bad that I waited until basically the proof was out there before I kind of started saying my piece on it. And that's just something that I don't expect everybody to kind of feel that way, but I feel bad. When I saw it happening and I saw it unfolding and I saw the tweets, it disgusted me. And those who would talk to me in private knew or know that how I felt. That I didn't keep it necessarily to myself, but I didn't call it out publicly. And I think more people should, because fundamentally, guilt until proven innocent is an absolute injustice. And the fact that somebody else was guilty of a crime doesn't mean that you get to then use that as a kludge to go after other people without evidence, just a feeling or a suspicion or anything like that. That our entire justice system is designed to not do that. And I know that on the internet, it's not a court system. That's not a legal proceeding or anything like that. It's just a court of public opinion, right? But I think more people should probably speak out and when it's happening and say, hey, look, this isn't right. If you have evidence, present it. If you don't, kind of be quiet. Because nobody elected, one of the things that is frustrated in this community is we have all these appointed people, right? Self-appointed people. And who put you in charge of protecting people or other people from what? We're adults. I have been on the internet for a very, very long time, on BBSs, on IRC, on all sorts of different internet forums, Twitter, you name it. But nastiness is not new to Twitter or new to the internet. It's been around, and liars have been around on the internet since its inception. And you could be lying about your gender, your job, your weight, your how much money you have, all these various things. People invent themselves on the internet all the time. And you are just going to have to understand that not everybody who's saying stuff online is telling you the truth, and make decisions accordingly. That doesn't mean you get to go out there or should go out there and proactively try and weed them out. Because guess what? You're never, ever, ever going to weed them all out. I guarantee you there are multiple people in this fandom, in their circle sphere or our social sphere, that are lying about something. Could be whether or not they're married. Could be, whether or not they have a girlfriend or boyfriend. A million things to present themselves in a way that's not accurate. And to accuse somebody of something because they're not comfortable with being on camera. Now, I have been on camera before, but I'm not comfortable being on camera.
I know that. Yep.
I don't like it. So in general, I'm not, and I just kind of let my words, speak for me. And
I think he's the woman, personally.
Yeah, I definitely sound like I'm a woman, right? But like I said, it's not just lying about gender or lying about needing money or any of that other stuff, which this person, Geeky Pixie, never, not Geeky Lizzie, never did. She committed no crime. She did nothing, and she was the target because her name sounds similar, and we have this idea that we're going to somehow weed these people out of our fan community. And good luck, because you ain't going to win. And, myself, I'm going to do I'm going to work to try and do better and call that shit out when I see it. Because guilt before proven innocent, or like you're guilty until you prove you're not, is bullshit. And and for that, Geeky Lizzie, I'm sorry I didn't speak out before the fact that you went the extra mile to something you were very uncomfortable with. Just, to basically get the group off your ass. Like, you shouldn't have had to do that. I'm sorry you had to do that. I'm kind of glad you did. And, I'm sorry that I didn't stand up and say this is bullshit when I could have and I should have.
So you're sorry you didn't self-appoint yourself to be the speaker router, right, Greg?
Well, like, look, I'll call things the way I see them. I don't have any authority or anything like that. But, like, yeah, if a bunch of people are ganging up on somebody and it's not right, I think it's fair to speak out. Because they're the aggressor there. They're the ones that committed an action. This other person didn't do anything to warrant the attention that they got. So, I mean, and that's the big difference. So,
yeah.
I get
that's kind of what I have to say about it.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. With the Geeky Pixie thing, I had always sensed something that was off about her or him from the very beginning, and so I told people that I thought I should tell, just to like keep their guards up around this person. And then it turned out that that was a good intuition on my part to kind of warn those people about this particular person. But I never really got that feeling with Geeky Lizzie. But then again, I didn't always like see her a lot in chats too much. I saw her in some chats and in other chats, but the only thing that was similar between the two was that, they used the face app thing, or what, I don't know what it's called, reface app thing.
Yeah.
And that they don't, and they use an avatar, they don't really show themselves. And I understand not a lot of people want to be on camera. As a girl, I totally understand that, some people have more insecurities than others. Some people want to protect their identity because of where they work. So they put themselves off camera, and that's not a big deal to me. Jade, she really kept to herself, and she supported the people that she wanted to support. And, I understand where you're coming from. Whereas, like, when I saw a bunch of this stuff happening to her, and people like, oh, this is, here's the catfish coming out, and I'm proving all of this stuff. I get where you're coming from, where you thought like, oh, I should have said something, because I was looking at it, I was like, I think this is wrong. I really don't think that she's a dude. I think that that's an actual girl.
The thing that I hate is the bullying basically into doxing themselves. If they don't want to show themselves, then they don't have to. And it's innocent until proven guilty. Unless Geeky Lizzie starts up some GoFundMe or some fundraiser and the money's not going to that place or something or this or that. Like, no. What Jared was doing under Geeky Pixie was clearly intentionally planned to be done, like, to do wrong by other people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, this reminds me of... It's not on the level of like the Salem witch trials or anything like that, or McCarthy.
Yeah, nobody's getting killed,
right? But it's the same kind of like spirit, right? Where this the same kind of idea behind it is, because you've had somebody already, revealed as a catfish. And now somebody sees similarities and there's patterns. And even when people point them out, it might seem credible because it's like, okay. Yeah, they never do show their face. They are using the reface app. But like you've said, until you have, credible evidence, and until really this person is using their platform to rip people off or deceive somebody into like some online relationship, I really don't see the point in going at, like, if they're not really, I don't know. She like you
She's
said,
not
she
doing
pretty much
anything.
stuck to herself. So
She did.
Well,
And I know that, like,
let's say
Pixie-
she was. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. I know Geeky Pixie was, like, talking to people in DMs and, you know, pretending that she was a girl and that, you know, she was telling people, you know, getting close to people in some way. So that's why some people were really upset when she came out and it was a guy. You know, so.
And to me, I wasn't a shock at all because, like I said, I've seen it a million times on the internet before.
Yeah, I wasn't
nothing new.
really shocked. I was just like, well, you know, you got to keep your guard up, you know, and really look into who you're interacting with online.
Yeah, just
So
use some common sense and be a
we're-
little suspicious.
yeah, and we're all adults, and you have to take responsibility for what you do online on Twitter, you know, and if you were a part of that, you know, witch hunt against Geeky Lizzie, then, you know, I know that she said that a lot of people have apologized to her so far, so that's
Well,
really
good.
good. Yeah.
Well, I
So
think,
they should.
people
Yeah,
that if people publicly came after her,
They need to publicly apologize.
And several of them have.
I mean, here's the thing.
Several of them
Right?
have.
Here's the thing. I mean, first of all, nobody has to do anything. You know, I'm not saying like I think yada yada. You know, but you just see people taking up this kind of mantle. You know, like a self-appointed authority to. I'm just like we've said. Could we just focus on kind of like the main point of how this whole thing, you know, was conceived and
The entertainment, the content.
Yeah, that's really. I don't see any value in the drama whatsoever, and it's just kind of getting it's getting tiring because it's certainly not a focus of mine.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
See,
and I'm not saying we
so-
can't. I'm not saying we can't talk about it here, but I'm just saying like
No.
this is my it's my personal thing. Is like, you know, keep your eyes on the prize.
The problem that I've found though, John, is the ones that are really feeding off the drama are the ones that have lost their content or lost what they like. You know, people came into the community because Star Wars got completely ripped out of everyone's heart, right? Like the guts of it got pulled out from underneath everyone, and it was just like the community blew up and grew very, very quickly, right? Now it's like, okay, so Star Wars is really, there's not much to do with Star Wars anymore. I mean, I've just been talking about it tonight. There's not much Star Wars talk. You know, we all know that the entertainment's going woke, all this kind of stuff. People are losing the fire of wanting to continually talk about the same sort of thing. So, of course, they need to find the content some other way. And some other way is the drama. You know, because the community are involved and they're, you know, they've got nothing anymore. That's how I see it. A lot of the people that are going after people don't know what they want to talk about anymore. So what do they talk about? Other YouTubers or other people within the community and feed off the drama. That's how I see it anyway.
And it's just not right. And I guess you could say, oh, but you guys are being hypocritical because you're bringing it up and talking about it now. Well, you know, I guess maybe. But like, you know, like I said earlier, I think that, you know, this witch hunt and this guilt by association or guilt until proven innocent thing, like, it's a bad way to go. It's a bad look. I would just say, like, you know, stay out of it whenever you can, because it just doesn't. It generally is not going to go to the right place. And occasionally they may, the people that are doing this kind of thing may hit upon one that's, you know, a truthful one, like, aha, got somebody. But it's not for you to get, and it's not your job to police them. And
so I don't know if this is true because it was a comment that was left under Geeky Lizzie's video that she had put up, but someone claiming to be her dad said that she has Huntington's disease.
She did mention that I did see in a Twitter thread something where her dad made a post. All the specific, it doesn't, like, there was evidence to suggest that she was who she said she was, and no evidence to suggest that she wasn't. and I think that's the problem I had. And I just
but
don't
then
want
the witch hunt was the thing that pissed me off.
And just because this other person, this Jared person, did something bad, that doesn't give you a free license to go after people with no cause. No. And like, I know some people have apologized, and they kind of half apologized, in my opinion, where they're just like, well, you know, like, I was just doing it because this other person hurt so many people. I was like, but that doesn't give you a right to hurt some other third party that's not even involved. You know, you're perpetuating, like, the solution isn't to hurt somebody else. Mm. And like I said, that's what I wanted to say about it. I think it was wrong, and I'm glad it's kind of coming to the end, and the people that kind of got caught got caught. But I just really think it's unfortunate that she had to do something that she was really uncomfortable doing just to get the shit off her back. Yeah, I agree. And to call off the goon squad.
Yeah. The torches and pitchforks.
But, you know, like I said, we're all adults and you're responsible for your own actions. And I think you just have to be a little bit vigilant about who you interact with online. If you have like with Geeky Pixie, I had a feeling about her, and I just told the people privately who I thought needed to be told.
And see, that's fine. Like, I think that's fine, because you're going like, because we've all had, friends or whatever, you're like, ooh, this person kind of gives me, like, maybe they're just hooked up with somebody, or they're just starting to date somebody, and you're like, ooh, this guy kind of gives me a creepy vibe, or this chick, something seems a little off, man. Like, you don't have any proof, but you're just kind of, that's one thing. But then, like, it's quite another to go follow this person to their work and tell everybody that they're some sort of criminal.
Yeah,
is quite another.
Let me hit this super chat at least before it disappears on me. Philibooty again for $2. The Lurby equals the Wog equals sore throat. Fake Aussie. Oh, I've never heard the Luby. Anyway, we also had a super sticker from Crazy Cat Guy. I think it was a high or something with the cat. Let me just double check that. Yes, it was higher from a cat. Thank you very much, Crazy Cat Guy. Been a long time supporter as well. And another $5 from Philibooty. This entire stream is sponsored by Philibooty. The community was infiltrated. The community was infiltrated and overreacted to someone exhibiting similar behavior. I can see why the reaction happened. Shouldn't have happened. Well, yes, I can see why the reaction happened, but again, to publicly witch hunt after someone is the wrong way to go about. If you've got a problem with somebody, right, and not seeing them, and you think you've got a suspicion or whatever, DMs, and be kind, be nice, because based on the way that Geeky Lizzie is reacting and putting posts out there, it's basically like the people came after her, whether or not it was in DMs or not, viciously. Like, it wasn't. Oh, so I just want to check. I just want to make sure because I've got a suspicion. But look, it's just my personal thing. Is it okay if you and I just get together and I see your face in a backstage somewhere? I don't think that there would be any problem with saying something like that.
See, if somebody told me that, I'd say, "Oh, fuck off! I don't care."
Yeah, that's a little. I mean,
but that's what people are doing. Here's what people are doing on Twitter.
Until Geeky again, I think until she was like trying to get actively, like really trying to get money from people, like doing a GoFundMe situation or catfishing people, like I just don't see that. I just don't see the need to go after her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, well, she's just doing her own thing. And I mean, if somebody's really not hurting anybody, I mean, I guess I don't see this like even if you have a suspicion that you think that they're a dude, it's like, if they're really not hurting anybody or doing anything, then like find something better to do with your time, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
It's like, who's got time for this?
We spend weeks and hours of content talking about each other in such a bad way. It's like, guys, what happened to talking about Star Wars? What happened to talking about Marvel? What happened to talking about the entertainment? The whole reason why your channels exist. Stop with the drama. Excuse me.
And then also respect that some people just don't want to be on camera, and that's fine. And if you're going to hold the standard that that's not fine, then hold it to everybody.
Well,
because I see a lot of people who aren't on camera ever.
Star Wars theory,
and I'm fine with that. If they don't want to be on camera, I get it.
Yeah, I think people should have the right to, like, I don't think people should be forced to, like, reveal yourself. Like, it's just, it's like, no, if somebody has a choice, they have that's up to them if they don't want to. It is the internet. And with that, people, like Steph said, can exercise personal responsibility and be cautious. If they feel like there is something up with this person, like there has been in the past, well, don't associate with them. And if there's red flags and there's been behavior where it's like, okay, maybe I should let some people know because there is something not right here, then by all means do so. But, I mean, that's just how I think, we should go about it. But,
well, that's how a normal person thinks. John, Anna's got to go. Thanks for coming by, Anna. Of course, I really appreciate you. Go and have a great Jack show. After we finish up here, we'll try and send some people over there. But yes, I think we're all in agreement that what has happened was a little bit wrong. It's good that there are people coming out and apologizing to her. But the whole premise of why now people are apologizing to her, I mean, those people were wrong. It's so.
Yeah, basically, my final 2 cents is let's just agree not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do that again. We learned, even if you didn't participate, you can witness the events and go, well, that's a pretty good lesson, I guess. Don't rush to judgment and kind of mind your own business.
Okay, so
Tim's falling asleep.
Yeah, we need to change subject.
No, I'm wide awake.
Oh, he does fall asleep though. It's so funny when we
Not in a long time.
We finish up a lot of our streams, it'll be me and Greg and maybe whoever else talking backstage, and we're talking, and Tim's just quiet for a long time, just sort of like this for a long time, and you're like, "Hey, Tim, what are you thinking?" He's like, "Yeah." And then that's about all we get out of him, and we'll just keep talking. It's so funny. Philip Booty with another $5 says that backstage face-to-face request happened and was turned down. Again, the dog pile shouldn't have happened. Sorry, but I can see the path to why it did. This is the thing. Like, even when I just said that then, and Greg said, well, if you said that to me, I'd tell you to fuck off. Well,
me too.
that's if it was me, I'd be the same. I was about to say before, when we were in the discussion before, Star Wars Theory didn't show his face for years. He'd had over 1 million subscribers and still hadn't shown his face. So, I don't understand the dog pile, the witch hunt thing. Like, that just annoys me. Anyway, I don't want to stay on this for too much longer because we've pretty much been going for an hour and it's been all talk about the drama and shit. So,
has anybody seen Cruella?
No. Go on. Greg wants to say one more thing. I was
going to say one last thing on the thing, and then I'll drop it for the rest of the night. Is, and I don't want to sound like an SJW here, but like, let's not set the standard that if you are a female and want to participate in this community, in this social circle, you have to show your face.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not a fair standard.
No.
Yeah. Again, people are adults, like come to your own conclusions yourself. But I mean, don't, this is just, it's just kind of like, again, that type of, it's just archaic type thinking, where it's like, we're gonna, somebody fits the pattern or a certain look, right? And then all of a sudden, grab the pitchforks and it's just like, come on, man. Like, I don't know.
Ridiculous. No, absolutely. All right. From Timon, is that 2 ruples? Is that what that is? The R? I don't know. Stream is too serious. So tracking fobs. Yes, tracking fobs. No, I haven't seen Cruella.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
I haven't seen Cruella, Steph, but somebody mentioned earlier, I think it was Blue Eyed Scorpio, asked if you'd watched Army of the Dead.
Look at your face. You know I watched Army of the Dead.
Well, he's asking, so now I'm...
It's a Zack Snyder's zombie movie.
Just because
we're talking movies now, chat, so I'm just going to put in a huge spoiler warning for myself, because I apparently give away endings to movies that people haven't seen yet. But yes, I have seen Army of the Dead.
Okay. Well, what do you think of Army of the Dead?
I liked it. I really did like it. Now, Dave Bautista, as a lead actor, I think he can use a bit more polish when he needs to be crying. It looks like he's either going to sneeze or he's taking a poo. So
yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
Has anybody else
like
on the
the sunlight is just in his eyes and he just can't open them. Like he just got his pupils dilated.
Yeah. Every crying scene, it looks like his head's about to
He's
explode.
like, this is how I really cry, though.
Yeah. Veins popping out of his brain. Has anybody else seen it?
He's like at his daughter's graduation, or you see him in all these like situations where he'd be crying, and like that's how he really cries.
Have you seen it, John?
I have not seen it. No.
Okay.
I want to though, just based on Steph talking about Bautista crying. I mean, that alone is enough reason to see it.
And he cries quite a bit in the movie too.
Really?
Yeah, he does. He does. Little baby. Have either of you two seen it, Tim or Greg?
Oh, you know me, not really a movie watcher, especially zombie movies.
Yeah. I'm not a zombie guy either.
Okay.
I'm not a zombie person either, because I had to start
Walking
watching
Dead.
I watched The Walking Dead to get over my fear of zombies. Because before that, I could never watch any zombie movies, and now I can only watch The Walking Dead. Because when I watched Army of the Dead, like I was just like, I had to pause it and finish it like the next day.
Well, see, Army of the Dead for me, it was actually a little bit boring. The premise of the movie, like the story behind it, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the ending too much.
No, neither did I.
And it was just a meh. It was an okay popcorn flick, I suppose. But even in that, like there were moments where I was literally just bored. Like,
see, I wasn't bored, and I really enjoyed all of the characters. Except
the characters were great. That German guy was really good.
I loved all the characters except for Batista's daughter. I didn't really enjoy her. Going in the movie
with or without you.
Yeah, she's like a spoiled brat in the zombie apocalypse. Who knew?
Who knew?
But I liked their take on the zombies. His take on the zombies. Like we have zombies that can communicate, or you have different levels of zombieism. Where like if you're bit by the head zombie or whatever, then
you're smarter.
You're smarter than all of the other ones. I wish it would have been explained a little bit more.
I don't like the organization of the zombies.
I loved it. I loved the organization of the zombies. It was an interesting take. It wasn't just like we need brains. Nah. I liked the organization of zombies. I wish it was explained a little bit more, as opposed to just like, oh look, we have this thing that's stuck in a that's being transported by the military. Ooh, what is it? Ooh, it wasn't really explained very well.
Yeah.
So I wish it was explained, like, what is this thing? Is it a zombie? Is it an experiment? What is it?
Well, they then sort of explain that the whole premise behind it is that they want to make a army of zombies that they can actually control, because the only place that you can actually shoot them where they actually die is in the brains, of course.
Yeah.
So
it was just interesting. And, like, I didn't understand how... Oh, never mind. I don't want to get into spoilers because John hasn't seen it.
Yeah, we'll leave that discussion there. Let me just hit this super chat because he's obviously off to work. So, Philabooty, again, for another $2. I'm off to cut, punch, rub, and pull. Yay, work.
What do you do for work?
Yeah. And let me play...
punch, rub, and pull.
Pull.
Cut. What is he, like a chef?
I don't know, but I'll play you this one just for all the super chats that you've sent.
Aww.
Thanks.
What is that?
Thanks. You were doing some stream with Drunk 3BO and something came up and you were like, it was just that perfect time because he blew you up just for when you went, oh. Perfect. But thank you, Philabooty, you've been great. Thank you. Enjoy work. At least you can work. So,
yes.
Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
Yep.
You
now,
mentioned...
nobody's seen Cruella?
No. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Okay.
I did watch Cruella. And it was awful. It was awful. I did not like it at all. You know what? I think that if... I don't know. If you were somebody who liked... What's that movie with Anne Hathaway? And what's her name? Is it Glenn Close? Where she's like...
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If you liked that movie because of like all the couture outfits and everything, then you might like this movie. But even so, it's a story about a character who is evil. Like, this woman wants to kill Dalmatians, wants to kill puppy Dalmatians, and make a coat out of their fur. Okay, that's this villain. But we're supposed to make this villain an anti-hero. And in order to do that, we have to have somebody who made her that way and who is even worse than her in her younger life, right? So now we have this I don't know what her name, I don't remember her name, but so it's someone who treats her horribly. And not only that, but like Cruella has like a split personality or something. And so she like leaves behind her like young girl personality and embraces Cruella. And even when she embraces Cruella, it's like, I'm only gonna do it to avenge my mom. And it's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's like, why are you trying to make this...
This is a Cruella origin story?
It's like a Cruella
like
origin.
the Joker of
that's
Disney movies.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's funny.
It's horrible. It's like, why are you trying to make Cruella a character that we want to root for and we want to feel sorry for? No, that's I have no interest in
Disney
seeing
saw
Cruella,
the
so
success.
spoil it all you want. Okay, I will spoil the shit out of this movie.
Go for it.
To start off,
I'll be right back.
To start off, she's born with that hair. Okay, she's born with half her hair black and half her hair white.
Really? Born like that?
She's born like that. Like, as a baby, you see her hair, like a tiny little hairs coming out of the head, and half her white and half her black.
It's like SJW
we don't know why
soon.
She's like that.
SJW soon are going to be born with half a shaved head.
We don't know why she's like that. Her mom's hair is not like that. Her dad's hair is not like that. But she was born that way. I have no idea why. It wasn't explained. And her mom turns out to be a very selfish person. She's like a narcissistic person, and she never even wanted Cruella. So she tells like her butler, here, take it, go get rid of it. Like, she just tells him to like go and kill this baby that I don't want.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So right. So we have to make someone more evil than Cruella because we need Cruella to be the anti-hero here.
Maybe her hair's that way because it was a botched termination attempt.
So instead of this butler
At least it wasn't a father. At least it was
her
a mother.
Yeah, it wasn't her father. So instead of the butler like getting rid of the baby, he gives it to one of the maids and says, here, take it. Take the baby, go raise it. So this maid takes the baby and she raises her as her own. And she's always been very eccentric, even when she was younger, Cruella. So her mom, well, not her real mom, but her adopted mom, has been telling her and her name is like Elena or Estella, or I can't remember, or something like that. That's what she names her. But she has like this other side to her that she calls Cruella. Okay, so that's how she came up with that. Like her eccentric side is called Cruella. So her mom was always like, "Oh, just be gentle, don't show off this side." And
her mom who wanted to abort her.
No, not the mom. Her adopted mom, the mom that she gave her,
gotcha.
that they gave her to. Her mom thought that she was dead because she gave the baby away, and she told the dad. Yeah, she told the dad that I died at childbirth. So she thought she was dead. So then she goes through practically, I don't know, 3/4 of the movie wearing a red wig because she needs to hide Cruella. I don't want to be Cruella anymore. So she ends up meeting these two guys. Oh, no. They have to go back to her real mom. Her real mom is this huge couture dressmaker. And the fake mom, not fake mom, I'm going to call her fake mom. Fake mom has to go back to real mom to ask her for a loan because she gets fired or something. And when she's there, real mom gets her trained evil, people killing Dalmatians to push the mom over a cliff. So the Dalmatians are evil.
What?
Hold on a second.
Dalmatians are evil.
Damn dogs.
So the Dalmatians are evil, and they end up killing Cruella's fake mom, and she's just crying, and she thinks it's her fault, and the dogs killed her mom.
Oh my god.
And so then she hooks up with Horace and Jasper, who are street kids, and they grow up together, and they end up stealing, and she somehow gets this job as a dressmaker for her real mom, but she doesn't know it's her real mom.
What?
Yeah,
it's so confusing. But Cruella was always her name, right?
Uh-huh.
In the original, Cruella was actually her actual name. She
Yeah.
dyed her hair the way it was, and she wanted to they've made the puppies evil. They've made I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because she had
So
to
what
get vengeance on the dog. This is what happens when you make a movie that's an origin story about a villain whose evil plot is to make a coat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. So she ends up embracing her Cruella-ness and says, "You know what? I'm just gonna be my real mom." She still doesn't know that's her real mom. I'm gonna be real mom's competition, her couture competition.
Wow.
So she ends up making all of these gowns and sabotaging a runway show. It's so awful. It's so awful.
So how again, I don't think there's anyone. One in the chat, if you care that this gets spoiled. Two, if you don't care that this gets spoiled, because I want to know how this movie ends. Because I'm never going to watch it, so I don't really care. But I'm really interested to see this whole story of what you've explained.
I'm going to treat it like you recommended it.
All right, no one cares.
No one cares.
But in saying that, if you do care, I'll give you a count: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Your time's up. Spoil away. What? So go on.
All right. Movie ends. The guy, her butler, is still working for evil mom, and he pulls evil mom tries to kill Cruella, blows her up. She knows that she's her daughter because of her hair. They remember the hair. She finally took off the wig and embraced her hair. So evil mom knows that that's her daughter, and she still tries to kill her anyway. She ties her up, blows her up, but butler rescues her and tells her, "Hey, guess what? Evil mom is actually your real mom." And she's like, no, no. Well, she sabotages a runway show. And she goes to her mom and she has like this plan, right? But she knows that her mom's going to try and kill her. So she calls the Dalmatians. The Dalmatians go and... Or no, the mom pushes her off the same cliff that the Dalmatians pushed her real mom or fake mom off of. And her dress, she fashioned her dress to turn into a parachute so that when she's pushed off the cliff, she'll parachute down into a boat and her life will be saved. And people will think that she's dead. And then evil mom
to see this movie now.
and then evil mom is taken to jail since Cruella has like that, I guess, Estella, or I can't remember what her name is. Since she was born like with that name, and they were able to like DNA test and say like, oh yeah, she's her actual daughter. While she was actually wearing the wig when the mom pushed her off. So people thought that the mom actually killed her own daughter, not Cruella. Okay, so Stella, I can't remember what her name is, what she calls herself. I'm going to call her Stella because I don't remember and I don't care. So Stella, before she like does this whole plan, she wills everything to Cruella, to her best friend Cruella. And so that's how she gets the big fortune that she has. That's how she gets Hell Hall. That's how she gets her car. Oh, by the way, her car is a DeVille, and that's how she gets her last name, because she's like, yeah, that's how she gets her last name. And it's like at the very end of the movie. It's at the very end of the movie, and she's like, a DeVille? Ooh, I like that. Cruella DeVille is so dumb.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awful.
When will they
I need
stop?
to look up who wrote this thing.
You're not wrong, John. When will they stop?
It's Estella. That's her name. So it is Estella.
Horrible.
Yeah, so that's how, yep. DeVille. I swear to God, in the movie, she's like, DeVille? I quite like that. And that's how she gets her last name. Yes, Han Solo.
Yeah, it's another
Cruella
Han
Solo. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, ladies and
literally
gentlemen.
named after a car.
Cruella DeVille.
Yep.
Is,
it's a horrible, horrible movie. I quite liked the way Once Upon a Time did Cruella. She was just a character that was born evil. She's just born evil. She kills her parent, or she kills her dad. She just gets enjoyment out of killing. That's how Once Upon a Time did Cruella's character. She loves it. Like, they even went down to hell at one point in the show, and Cruella's down there in hell, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it. She's just a character that's evil. That's it.
That's just crazy what they've done. It's kind of like either they do something like the Lion King live action, which is exactly the same story but just poorly done. So they either do it exactly the same, or they do a complete 180 on the entire story, and they have to come up with a whole new concept, a whole new idea. This is the problem, though, is that, if we do bring it back to Star Wars, the creative freedom thing, right? If you relate that to just all forms of entertainment, the creative freedom, where's the creative freedom in that? I mean, create a character. If you want to actually create a character and make them evil because this is the way that they turn out evil, well, that's not Cruella. It's kind of like what you're saying, Tim, about the importance of law and continuity in your documentary. And even Lethal recently did a video on why law is really important.
Yeah.
These stories were put in place. They have been timeless stories that people have, or fairy tales or whatever, that people have grown up with throughout their entire lives, and now you're trying to change it? For what purpose? What was the purpose
to sell tickets, to sell a movie, to sell whatever. That's the purpose.
Sell an idea that they've already had, yeah.
This movie would have been good if it had been anything other than Cruella. I mean, look how good the Devil Wears Prada movie did. People love that movie. So this movie with the couture and everything in it, it would have been really good, except they made it a prequel to the evil Cruella. They made it a 101 Dalmatians prequel. And what I don't like about it is that what they're doing with the Disney villains, making them anti-heroes, someone that we're supposed to root for in their own movie, making them victims of sad tragedies in their past. Well, what are we supposed to think when we watch the movies that they're in?
Yeah.
The heroes of the movies aren't you supposed to maybe if you talked to the villain and learned a little bit more of why they are the way they are, you would understand them a little bit more, but instead you're just going to fight these villains and then kill them. So
Well, see, that's the other thing.
what are we supposed to
Wait, how does
think?
Cruella end in 101 Dalmatians? Does she die? Or
No, she doesn't die. Her car was crashed, and she's just her car crashed into Horace and Jasper's van, and that was it. They're like on the side of the road, and she's
and she
screaming
just
at
looked
them.
all beaten up and
Yeah, she's just crying because she
Yeah.
didn't get her Dalmatians or her Dalmatian.
So I looked up the writing credits for this outstanding sounding movie. So the first person credited, you'll be surprised to know, is also wrote things like Couples Retreat.
Oh,
And a TV series called Home Before Dark. She's a producer on New Girl. Oh, she was an associate producer on Couples Retreat. I don't know if she wrote that. No. Oh yeah,
Hey,
she
can I
wrote
ask
What Happens in
you?
Vegas, Ben and Kate. But let me quick go through some of these other writers. So the other writer, Tony McNamara, his outstanding
That sounds
credits
familiar.
include a TV show called Puberty Blues.
what?
that's the sequel to, or that's the prequel to Varsity Blues.
Puberty Blues TV series, 7 episodes, 2014. And I guess it really wasn't a smash hit.
I don't think it took off.
Didn't quite reach puberty.
Yeah. And then I guess I pronounce it Eileen Roche McKenna was a writer for The Devil's Wears Prada.
Oh,
okay.
hey, see?
Makes sense.
Well, can
There
I
you
say I
go.
saw The Devil Wears Prada
And we bought a zoo and 27 dresses and 3 to tango. Yeah,
I've seen The
And-
Devil Wears Prada. I had to go and see it with my girlfriend at the time. And to be honest with you, as a chick flick, it was actually not too bad because the story's actually pretty good. It definitely gave that Cruella vibe from what's her name, the main character, the bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like, again, for a chick flick movie,
No,
it wasn't all that
it
bad,
was-
but like
Meryl
Streep, that's it.
Meryl Streep, yeah. I called her
Yeah.
something else. I don't know what. Glenn Close, I think.
Glenn Close. You're thinking the Glenn Close played Cruella and the other.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me hit this because it's about to disappear on my StreamYards. Jock Nerdy for $20. Thank you, my brother. This guy's awesome. I don't know if you saw the video of his dogs or one of his dogs barking at Charles while I was streaming. It was kind of awesome. Here's some love. Still on the phone with a friend who needs help. Well, look, dude, you help a lot of people out, and I thank you personally. And I know there's a lot of people in the community that thank you as well. So you're an awesome dude. Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing. And I will play you this.
All I can
just
think
for the
about
fun
is
of it.
Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
Thanks, Jock.
Hey!
Thanks for the
Guess
20
what?
bucks. Here's
That's what it's all about. Where did that
The
other
Cruella
one go?
director is an Aussie. Thanks,
oh, no
guys.
way. And Rick Magos for $5 says, I can see it now. Cruella Skywalker.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll do the crossover. There'll be a
Seriously.
crossover event.
That part.
I don't know,
just
like-
laughed.
Did I?
Who thought that Cruella needed like a backstory? She's such a simplistic, evil, generic. I mean, she's a fantastic villain in 101 Dalmatians, but there's not much depth to her. She's an evil bitch who wants to kill dogs to make a coat.
Yeah.
Like,
Puppies,
Ooh.
not just dogs, because the adult dog's fur
puppies.
is too coarse. She wants the puppy fur.
Oh,
I
make
stand
her
corrected. I'm sorry.
extra evil, I guess. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you
Does
know,
that
they-
make you
they
more
kick the
evil
dog
if you
trope.
just want to kill puppies, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
like, but-
and in the
like-
movie, she does wear a Dalmatian coat. And her evil mom was like, she killed my dogs and made a coat. But she actually didn't. It's fake fur. The dogs are still alive. It would have been, if they went there, it would be like, okay, well, she's pretty nope. Dogs are still alive. It was a fake out.
The devil wears Dalmatian or fake Dalmatians.
Fake Dalmatians. That's yeah. Melissa Lord, I'm sorry, I missed your super chat. I've got it here. I can't bring it up anymore. I'm sorry, but thank you for the $2. Really appreciate it. The ice cream man in my hood plays the indie theme. Love y'all. Cool. That's funny as. Could you imagine him driving down the street and
That's awesome.
Ice cream.
You just want to
That's
swing
awesome.
from the vine and to that ice cream truck, or I don't know,
That'd be really great though, is if you had a horse that you could ride and you ride up alongside the truck and swipe ice cream with it.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Ice cream. That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. I love it.
But it's moving 3 miles an hour, so you got slow the horse down.
Or even she's just written
and the Ghostbusters.
And the Ghostbusters.
The horse just runs right past the ice cream truck. He totally missed the handoff.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so good. Well, thank you, Melissa. That's great. I would love it if my ice cream man did that too. I'd actually video
Then
it.
shout at the driver with an ice cream cone in your hand. It's like, this belongs in a museum.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of villains, they're fucked Cruella, and I must admit, I was never a big 101 Dalmatians fan. Even it was a good enough story. It was fine. People enjoyed it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What are some good villains that we've had?
Joker.
Can you name?
I mean, as far as the movie goes, an origin villain story, that actually worked.
It did. Mm-hmm. And people are
you're
comparing
right.
Cruella to Joker.
I could see why.
Wow.
But it's the same idea is there. It's an origin. It's a villain. It makes you feel a little sympathetic towards the villain, I suppose, or it's supposed to. But I mean, I guess that's where the similarities stop. Is that it seems like the Joker's actually good and Cruella not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't give him an excuse to go back to Star Wars.
What about is Thanos? I think in Infinity War, Thanos is a very flushed out villain.
He's powerful. I don't understand this whole motivation for snapping.
Completely illogical.
I his whole core reason why he's doing it doesn't make sense to me. But that moment where he throws what's her name off the cliff. I mean, that was kind of that was well done.
Yeah, Thrawn is a good villain as well. Daniel Andrews, yeah, he's a good villain.
In book
he's not a good villain. He'll be a dead villain soon. Shh, better not say that.
Are you talking about villains in general, or?
Yeah, I was just saying, when have you come across a really good villain where you've sort of finished the movie and you've been like, man,
Mr. Morden on Babylon 5, smiling, happy, but really an evil piece of shit that betrayed all of humanity.
Okay.
A lot of people are discovering that character now as they watch the show on HBO Max. So yeah,
I think of
Khan, good villain.
I think of Tommy Lee Jones in Under Siege.
He was a fun villain.
He was a fun villain in that. Yeah.
Is that the Seagal movie on the aircraft carrier?
Yeah.
Where he's
he's a crazy psycho dude.
I thought that was one of his best roles, honestly.
I agree.
I've never seen it. I don't know. I've never seen that.
Oh my goodness!
Under Siege 1, Under Siege 2 is a miss. You could miss that one, but Under Siege.
Yeah, but you gotta replay the birthday cake scene over and over again,
and pause it and stretch the tape out, and
I think there was a study that was the most rewound
moment. Yeah. That's so funny. He kicks the cake.
Miss July.
Rolls. Yep.
Erica Leniak, right? Yeah.
Philibooty, off for real now. I do that all the time. I'm like, I'll see you guys later, and then I'll stay in the chat for like another half an hour, and I'll still be typing. I'll be like, all right, now I'm really going. Got leather to sew. Later, cunts.
Yeah.
Later, dude. So he
Not
sews
leather,
leather.
so later. Oh, he has. I don't know what he has.
He
What
works
does he
in a
do
leather.
for work?
No, he works in
Well,
like
that
a
makes
leather
sense if he's
factory.
He works
if
in
he's
what?
punching and cutting and everything that he would punch and cut
Yeah.
and do all those
And
things to
pull.
leather. So yeah.
Yeah, very true. Nice. All right, let's bring it back to Star Wars.
No.
Sorry.
Boo.
Again, there hasn't been too much news, but there was a couple of things that I wanted to. Actually, we won't start with that one. We will start with the John Boyega thing. Okay, so did you all hear what John Boyega said about him coming back and like the only way that he would come back or something? Did you hear about this?
I love that picture of Yoda.
The one in the
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cool picture. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I haven't actually watched this interview. It goes for we can't watch the whole thing. It's 27 minutes long.
Yeah, and that guy's voice is really annoying too.
And I don't even know where like the timestamp is where he says it. Do you have that article, Tim?
I sent you an article in DMs that has the exact clip.
Okay. Let me,
It was right at the same time as the other one. Yeah, you better. Yeah.
Okay, basically in a nutshell, because let's discuss this while I'm trying to find it. He came out and he basically said the only way that he would come back to Star Wars and reprise his role as Finn is if Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams were involved.
Really?
Were involved?
Were or weren't?
Or are involved in it.
Ah.
Huh.
And other
Were
people,
involved.
he said. It was.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's just fuck Ryan Johnson. Okay.
It
Yeah.
seems like the message is clear.
Mm-hmm.
But like I like this is the thing. Even that these guys feel so out of touch to me when they say stuff like this because I'm sorry, J.J. Abrams did a shit job with his movies. Kathleen Kennedy's done a continually shit job,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really get it.
Well, Kathleen Kennedy has done a shit job managing, her directors and movies and everything because she doesn't do anything creatively. So she's mishandled Star Wars so badly to where even J.J. Abrams was just like, oh, if we had a plan, maybe it could have worked out. Or maybe it's a good idea to have a plan.
Yeah, and they're still rewriting.
Oh yeah, the Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker with, Rey's powers being able to heal Kylo Ren's head from the dark side. And what was the other thing that they came out with not long after that? Oh, the Snoke is a clone of Luke's hand. Just ridiculous shit. This is only a couple of seconds long. Let's have a quick listen.
That we help and we facilitate, so whichever way, I'm open to the conversation as long as it's Kathy and JJ and maybe someone else, it is the team, then it's a no-brainer.
He wants Pablo Hidalgo. That's someone else.
It's interesting that he says that he's open to the idea because before, whenever he's because he goes live on Instagram quite a bit.
You ain't done a Disney Plus me.
Yeah, he goes live on Instagram, or at least he used to, especially during like lockdowns and everything. He used to go live all the time, and everybody would always ask him Star Wars questions, and they would always ask him if he would reprieve his role as Finn, and he has constantly, over and over, said no, he's done with Star Wars. Over and over, he has said that he's done with Star Wars. I mean, he's even, made fun of like the Reylos, because they've come after him before, and he's just constantly said like, I'm done playing Finn. I don't want to come back to it. No, even if it was on Disney Plus, I wouldn't go back to it. And now he's like, I'm open to the idea.
Well, it's not really now.
Why is he open to the idea now? Are they?
This is from
something?
over a year ago.
Oh, it's from over a year ago.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Really?
then that makes sense.
It's resurfaced. You know, some website finds crap from an old interview and they make
Yeah.
a day story out of
Right.
it. It
Well,
was before
that
the
makes
summer of
sense.
writing and all that shit. So
Well, and here's the thing: he may actually believe that, but it wouldn't be. This is an
Yeah, I
overture
was gonna
to
say
J.J. Abrams saying, like, "Hey, you know, I'll be your Black Superman."
Yeah.
Like, he wants to work with J.J. and you know the $500 million that he's got over at Warner Brothers. He's just kissing J.J.'s ass. That's all.
Mm. What were
but
you
that
going to
wasn't
say,
even
John?
a twinkling in their eye.
Because
at that
he
point.
burned too many bridges, I think, probably with Disney for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
say,
especially coming out and saying that, you know, I think that Finn was done dirty and, you know, coming out against them. I mean, he was pretty much one of the first people to come out and say, like, I don't like what they did with my character. I don't like how, you know, they handled Star Wars. He was one of the first people to speak out. You know, and he
Yeah,
didn't
it was a
care.
fuck you to JJ Rhino. That explains, you know, why he's saying Kathy and JJ specifically.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
There's nothing more than that. I think he's honestly, I don't want to say he's a piece of shit, but I think he has shit takes, and I think he's a little bit of a baby. And yeah, I mean, I think it's good to use some of the stuff he said, and take the truth of what he's saying, and using it against Disney Lucasfilm. But all in all, I just think he's inconsistent and a little unstable.
Yeah, but if this was if this was done, if this was an interview from over a year and a half ago, he would have still been under Disney contract, under, you know, under that contract. So it's not like he can say anything bad at this point. You know, it wasn't until the movies were finished, and that was me. That was, yeah, it's a motorcycle going
I'm like,
past.
man, that's not. I was like, sworn I thought it was
Here comes the
looking out the
chopper.
window.
That was me.
I'm being swatted.
So I would think that he would be under Disney contract, so he can't really say anything bad until he was out of that contract, until the movies were done, until he doesn't have to, you know, pitch the movies anymore. He doesn't have to talk good about, you know, Lucasfilm and Disney and Star Wars, which is when he actually started opening his mouth and saying, like, I think they only used me for my skin color and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
That's
Which
also
is
something
pretty
to
much the
consider.
truth.
Well, before I knew that this was clipped from a 2020 interview, I actually thought, like, okay, so if he's saying this, you know, and we've heard these rumors about Daisy Ridley coming back to reprise her role, you know, is there any credence to it? But now that I know that it's from a while ago, I'm just...
Yep.
Yeah, it really changes the whole.
It does,
You know,
doesn't
it's
it?
like if he had said this yesterday, then it's like, oh, okay, well, this is. But
Yeah.
because he said a lot since this video, so
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, well...
I mean,
you
he
know,
still could end up coming back. Because, I mean, let's be honest, him and Daisy Ridley aren't going to have long Hollywood careers. Oscar Isaac, Adam Driver, yeah, they're never going to come back because they got a lot of other shit they can do. And these two, not
I
so
think
much.
Boyega will probably have more work than Daisy. I think she's got a movie coming out with Tom Holland, but it seems like Boyega's managed to get, you know, they're not like big movies and huge roles, but it seems like he's been able to stay active. You know, I don't know the
Yeah, it
longevity.
could be like a character actor or something like that, but like as far as headlining a movie, no.
No. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't see him leading a whole lot of films.
Well, the only person that I've really seen that's ended up getting sort of another job out of it is Oscar Isaac, and he's doing the Dune stuff, right?
Well, he's been doing movies.
Yeah, but he had a
Yeah,
career
he's been doing
before
movies.
him.
But yeah, that's
Adam
right.
Driver as
That's
well.
true.
Adam Driver went to more serious roles
Mm,
because he's a very good actor.
it's
Yeah, and both
interesting.
those two were known commodities at that point, versus Ray and Finn were not.
Yeah.
The future of Star Wars. It's so funny. Like, okay, so let's say Finn comes back and Daisy comes back to reprise their roles. Like, what story are they going to tell? Who's going to go and see that? I know I'm not going to go and
I
see
want to
that.
see Star Wars Episode 10 laying the pipe.
Oh, could you imagine they do it 10, 11, and 12 with Finn and Ray?
They're not going to do 10, 11, and 12. They're going to go back, wait for Mark Hamill to pass away, and then they're going to remake 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
They can't. I swear, if they do
I swear they're going to. They're going to wait
Everyone
for Mark
keeps saying
Hamill
that
and George Lucas to die, and then they're going to remake 4, 5, and 6 because it is under the Disney logo, and that's what we've been seeing.
It's not even that old, though.
No, and
Neither
if they really want
Neither is
to
all the other stuff they're remaking.
Yeah, neither is all the other stuff that they're
true.
doing.
Lion King was 1994, 95.
They are in the business of
that.
remakes right now, and they will remake anything.
It'll be just so effed up if they actually did that. I mean,
Wouldn't it, John?
I really think that that's where it's headed. They're just waiting for a few more people to die.
Episode 10, the return of Palpatine.
Because Harrison Ford, I don't think Harrison Ford really cares. I don't think he really cares.
No,
so,
he hasn't cared.
So he would just turn the other way and be like, sure. I don't care.
Yeah, he won't
Look
care.
what they're doing.
Yeah, he just grumbled. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
They're not going to be able to make it better, and I understand. Like, you could say the same thing for Lion King, and it was true. I mean, they screwed. They actually.
The Lion King was awful.
Yeah, I couldn't even get through like 15 minutes of that film, where it's just like, wow, this is literally copy and paste with CGI, and there's nothing. I just don't, it just makes no sense for that movie to exist.
No.
But anyways,
It felt like the heart was just ripped out of it.
Yep, it was a
so
soulless.
bland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the Lion King remake.
Don't. Like, I put it off so much. Like, I was just like, oh, well, let me just see, because people say it's trash. I like trash things. I like trash movies. And I was like, maybe I'll enjoy it. No. Mm-mm.
See, I guess I understand like a live action adaptation of an animated film. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think Lion King should have happened that way, but there's at least enough of a difference in terms of, I don't want to say, like, I guess the medium, because one is animation and then one is live action. Mm-hmm. So it's like, at least there's somewhat of a difference there, but to actually just remake a film, like a masterpiece. Could you imagine if they remade The Godfather? Like it's on that level where it's like,
oh yeah,
why would you?
Perfect movie.
But see, I put like, could you imagine if they remade Back to the Future?
Oh, that'd be awful.
It'd be
even though
they've remade Ghostbusters, haven't they?
Of movie. Sorry, even though the Godfather is a higher category of movie, I would still put them in the same thing. How dare you remake that movie? Sort of thing. Like, and you're going to destroy it because you're not going to be able to make something as good as the original.
Exactly.
I mean, they destroyed Ghostbusters. They remade Ghostbusters with the women, and it was awful.
And now we're going to get some other Ghostbusters. I don't know.
Well, you look at you remember Psycho?
Yeah. That was supposed to be out a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
What?
I'm tempering my expectations. Sorry, John. What were you saying?
Oh, you're fine. No, like Psycho was a Gus Van Sant reshot Alfred Hitchcock, and literally it's like a shot-for-shot remake.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody, I don't think the film did all that well, because what's the point? It's like you're just literally reshooting and remaking the you're not adding anything new. And it's like everybody still remembers Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, and nobody even remembers that Psycho remake even happened.
Yeah.
So
it
it's
was like what, 84, 85?
The Psycho remake, that was, gosh, that was around, I think, let me see, 2000 maybe?
I'm thinking of the
Christian Bale?
continuation in the 80s.
No, those are the sequels.
Oh, that was with
Vince Vaughn and
Vince Vaughn.
H, I think,
That's right.
and yeah, I'm trying to figure out what.
That's right.
Marty McFly would be a gay black guy or a lesbian girl.
Yeah. Half the head
I think that like the up until the Lion King remake, I think people were just kind of putting up with the Disney remakes at that point, because they had already done Maleficent, they did Cinderella, they did Beauty and the Beast,
the Jack and the Beanstalk or whatever it is, Jack and the Giant Slayer.
Jack the Giant Slayer. I forgot all about that one. But up until the Lion King, I think people were just kind of putting up with it. And then
Ewan McGregor,
Hansel and Gretel, they did with
Hansel.
Jeremy Renner.
But that's not a Disney movie. So,
No.
like, up until that, I think, up until Lion King, people were just putting up with it. Once they did The Lion King, like, all the people that, that were just like, why? This movie's awful. Oh, my goodness. Like, Twitter just hit it hard. They made fun of it so bad, so much. After that, people are just like, no more Disney remakes. Stop it, Disney. Stop it. So, and that, because Mulan came out afterwards and nobody went and saw that movie. That movie just failed. Nobody bought it on Disney Plus. That movie was horrible. It failed. I watched it. It was bad.
Well, you just gotta you gotta ask yourself, if you're the film studio, be like, why would the audience go see this versus just watching the original when the original is so beloved? Like Lion King is a beloved Disney animated movie. Like, there's, and then you're just going to redo it, call it live action, but it's just going to be like, it's just CGI animation instead of other 2D animation. Like,
right? It just didn't make sense. It's like, well, these are animated too, so let me just watch the original animated movie. It is perfect. Why watch this one?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And, and the same would be for like Mulan and everything. Like, I don't really need to see that in live action when I could just, and especially when you're trying to sell it on Disney Plus for $30 when the other movie's on Disney Plus for $0.
Yeah. Even oh god, Aladdin didn't do very well either.
Well, I think it came close to $1 billion.
Aladdin.
I think it was like 900.
But it was, again, one of the movies that were just getting ripped. It was just getting ripped apart because it was awful.
That
remember when that
remake
trailer came out
of
with
Aladdin was so bad, like so horrible. I hated that new song that they did where she's standing on her balcony and men won't hold me down or something like
what?
Like
oh my god, John, you've never seen it?
I never bothered to see it. I just
oh
never
my
bothered
god,
to see it.
it's honestly it's. Just take my balls. Just take my balls. Just take him. I'm out. Like, honestly, it's such fucking bullshit cringe.
Gosh.
It was so bad.
Just watch the I'm sure that there's a clip of that song out there on YouTube. Just pull it up.
Oh man. Well, it did crack $1 billion at the box office, and that's the thing. They're gonna keep making these remakes as long as they make money. I don't know what
until they
Mulan
stop
did.
making
It
money,
was right, exactly. Even then, I don't know if they'll get the point, because it seems like they'll just drive something right into the ground like they did with Star Wars. So,
well, they're also going to run out. They're also going to run out of some titles pretty quick. I mean, like how many? So they're catching up to modern times pretty quickly with their animated movies turned live action, because they don't put that many animated movies out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, once you're through like the '90s era of animated movies, like,
that's why they're doing the villain backstories.
Yeah,
because they're running out of animation.
Yeah,
that's why they've taken to the villains. I'm waiting for the Ursula backstory. What is wrong with why?
I want the Scar origin story.
The Scar origin story.
Where like he was molested by his father, but then Mufasa was not, and that's why he hates.
I saw a tweet that someone put out on Twitter that was just like, imagine like your best friend being. They were talking about Cruella. Imagine your best friend being your best friend being so successful as a woman who's successful, and your husband writes this horrible song about her, trashing her, and it's like, you really haven't seen the original movie, have you? Crazy person.
Yeah, I did actually see that rumor that he was going to play Ezra because he is Aladdin in space in that, which is quite funny. But I actually saw something last night. I was watching. There was Fast and Furious 1 and 2 on, because of course Fast and Furious 9 is about to be released in theaters. Well, at least it is here.
I love it. I love the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Okay, you're about to hate it. You're about to hate it. You're about to hate it. You are about to hate it. You know why? Because but during the shows last night, between sorry, let me start again. Fast and Furious 1 ended, and Fast and Furious 2 was about to start on TV, and there was a little cut in between, little advertisement for Fast and Furious 9. and it's all about the women of Fast and Furious. And the women and the action, and we're powerful, and we're and
Does it show them
it was just
that might actually sell.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cringe, like Fast and Furious gone woke.
No way.
Yep. You wait until everything. There was nothing about the movie. Again, we're seeing advertising from the actors, right? Fucking Ewan McGregor coming out and saying it's going to deal with the misogynistic stuff that you boys have to you women have to deal with on a daily basis. Like, what a fucking... Oh, I wanted to fucking use a gamer word then. But I saw this and I was just sitting there. I'm like, okay, I hate Fast and Furious. Like, it's just, I never... Fast and Furious was good. The first couple were better than when they started to really drag them out and started to, drive cars between buildings in fucking, India and shit like that. But
well, they're just stupid action movies.
They're stupid action movies. But this was advertised as the women of Fast and Furious.
Is it like the women of Marvel when they have like that standoff with Thanos?
Or the
Mandalorian.
I didn't see any scenes, right? But there's this one where I can't remember her name. She's if somebody can search the cast for me really quickly, older lady.
Of which movie?
Of Fast and Furious 9. She's an older lady, white, short hair. Anyway, she's driving a car. And Toretto, she's like, pull the handbrake for me, will ya? And Toretto pulls the handbrake and she does like some super duper fucking spin out turn thing in her car. Because, nice. Toretto's not driving. It's got to be the chick driving. And will you pull the handbrake for me, darling? Yeah,
Toretto's not driving? Dominic is not driving?
Not in that thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, is it Queenie?
Helen Mirren?
Helen Mirren?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that's got to be her. The next oldest woman on the cast is Charlize Theron. So
yeah, and so it is her.
Okay.
Yeah. And Charlize Theron, she was talking about, it's so good having women power in action movies. It's so great to see. Like, oh my God.
Well, let me ask you this. What about the opposite? Have you ever come across a remake that was better than the original? And I'll give you an example. I mention this sometimes, but I'm a big fan of The Age of Sail. I like the books and the movies and stuff. Mutiny on the Bounty, the original with Clark Gable, was a piece of shit, because what can you do back then with like a ship? Not really much. The one from early 60s with Marlon Brando, a little bit better. But let me tell you what, the one from 84, The Bounty, and I have all of them on DVD, with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins. It's a fucking masterpiece. If you've never seen that movie, go see it. It's like a mind trip psychological drama. It's the best Mutiny on the Bounty adaptation they ever did. So anyone have any movies where the remake was better than the original?
Before you get into that, Crazy Cat Guy's got to go. Thank you, Crazy Cat Guy, for coming by. He sends a $3 super sticker saying bye-bye from the Cat Guy. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, any good adaptations, remakes? Anyone?
It's hard to think of one, isn't it?
No, I can't think of anything off the bat.
Jumanji.
What?
Oregon Jumanji 2 wasn't better, but it was good. I reckon it was on par with the original.
You're saying like
you're talking about the Rock
version was better than the original, and you're saying Jumanji was better than the original.
It's better. I'm putting
but
it.
That's what he's asking.
Oh, okay. So it's got to be better.
It has to be better, and no, I still don't think that it's on par with the original either.
I think it is.
You're talking about the one with Dwayne Johnson and.
I like that first one. I thought the first one # cancel Rhino. Thanks, Nina.
I thought the first one was good, because The Rock is likable. He's a likable character, but I mean that's it. I can't stand Jack Black.
I think he's hilarious in that movie.
What about? I haven't seen either of these, and I don't even know if it's the same story or just using the same character. But what about Judge Dredd? Is it the same story, like an origin? Or
Dread, that new Dread.
That'd be like a soft reboot. I don't know if
Yeah, I
it's
consider that more a
necessarily
reboot versus a remake.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Or I should say reboot, yeah.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't necessarily
I need
go
to
so
see
far
it,
to
but-
say it was better either. It's on par. It's definitely a good movie.
That RoboCop remake was
I love Carl Urban. Yeah,
Yeah, the
RoboCop.
RoboCop
piece of shit.
remake was horrible. Even Mortal Kombat was fucking shit.
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Rhino? You're like looking to the side.
I'm looking at my wall of DVDs just to see if there's
Oh.
anything that stands out to
Turn
me.
the camera
even,
so we can see.
even the Mummy with Tom Cruise was a piece of shit.
I did not mind that. I was actually looking forward.
It's so
I was
garbage.
looking forward to the Dark Universe. I was like, oh yay, give it to me. I want to see it. I want to see
And he
more.
runs- he
I
fucking-
enjoyed that
Russell
movie.
Crowe-
But like
Russell
I said
Crowe is
earlier
fucking
in the
Dr.
stream,
Hector and
I
Mr.
said
Hyde or
I
whatever the
enjoy
fuck.
crap.
No,
I enjoy
no,
crap movies
shit.
sometimes, and I enjoyed Tom Cruise's Mummy, probably because it's trash.
It's shit. It's
Right now,
shit.
I'm looking at a shot-for-shot comparison of Psycho, where they're showing the old one and the newer one. So the newer one was from 1998, and I'm looking at this right now, and it's like, gosh, Hitchcock did it so much better. Like even in terms of the shots, the lighting, everything, and and this was like a shot-for-shot remake. So I just don't think you look at like Ben-Hur. They tried to remake Ben-Hur. That's just a dumb idea. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to make a better movie than what William Wyler did.
Yep.
You're not going to be as nearly as epic. I don't care how much CGI you try to use. And
Could you imagine them trying to remake Dunkirk?
no, well, it's just because it's so recent too. But
I'm just saying, like, even years down the track, let's say 20 years down the track, would they ever consider remaking Dunkirk?
I don't think so. I don't think Dunkirk will be a classic like some of these other movies, like whether it's like Star Wars or Godfather or films that they have talked about remaking.
What about Magnificent Seven? Did you guys see the newer Magnificent Seven with Chris Pratt and Denzel?
I bought it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
I've actually got it.
I got it on sale.
I got it as well. But even the original of that is better than the remake.
Is it though?
It is.
From what I've heard,
It is.
That it's
They've
not,
done in this. They've actually done a gender swap and a race swap in this movie compared to the original movie. And again, it doesn't actually take anything away from this movie, but the events of what happens in regards to them having to get the Magnificent Seven is completely changed, and I like the original story more than I like the new story. But it doesn't take away from the new story.
Okay.
Roof Magos for $10 says, Rhino, I need grog to deal with this woke crap. I'm going to review fund. I don't know what that last bit means, but I understand the first bit. Go and get grog so you can go and deal with this fucking crap. I understand. Go and get hammered so you can't fucking, hey, yeah, we get race swap.
Or just don't watch it.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of a remade movie that is better
It's a hard challenge
Yeah.
than the
that
original.
I came up with. So
Well,
If you think of anything
Is it
as we
like-
go, let us know.
I mean, like I'm just going through a list online, and like a lot of the remakes, what the people consider remakes is just
Correct.
well, it's like adaptations of like a foreign film. I mean, sometimes some of these on the list though, like some TV series were better than the original movie. MASH, Buffy were two examples that they have listed. Like, yeah, I'd agree with that.
I forgot what The Departed. I know The Departed was based off of
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that was one that was
There's
listed.
one.
That was
There's
that
one.
was
that's
based on
better.
an original.
Mina, Mission Impossible. Yes, that was a really good. I love the Mission
Yeah, okay.
Impossible.
Wait, who's in that movie again?
You talking about The Departed? Or you talking
No,
Mission
Mission Impossible.
Oh.
Just joking around because
I'm
of
giving
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. You know Tom Cruise's best role is from Tropic Thunder, I reckon.
I I bet it. You know what? I
love the
believe
way
that.
He dances. Like, he's just so
When
over
I
the
first
top.
saw Tropic Thunder, I had no clue that was Tom Cruise. He did so good.
He does so good in that.
Here's another one. So they did a lot of Sherlock Holmes movies and series going all the way back to the 40s and 50s, but the best one ever was in the 80s with Jeremy Brett on Grenada TV in England. That series is fucking awesome. And it still holds up to this day because it was a period piece, so nothing dates it. It's just so well shot and acted and stuff. So that's another example. We had, what's his name, that played Tarkin? Peter Cushing, he played Sherlock at one point. You had Basil Rathbone and some other people. But yeah, Jeremy Brett in the 80s, best Sherlock Holmes ever. So there's another example. I'm pulling out all this old shit because I'm old, you know. I don't have any new examples.
I love it.
You're not old,
Steph,
you're just refined.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Steph, you need to take off, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming by. I appreciate having you on. As always, you're always welcome. Please let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at the same handle, My Nerdy Home. And this Saturday, we'll be live on my channel with Talk Nerdy to Us with me and Mara. Yeah.
Awesome. Be there, everyone. Be there.
Steph, always good to see you.
You too, John. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you, Steph.
Take care. Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Compared to the cartoon, you mean?
Yeah.
That's a
Never saw it.
Easy one, yeah, for sure. No contest.
All right, we can continue thinking of more.
Hell, I think even the Hobbit movies are better than the Hobbit animated movie.
That Hobbit movie, that trilogy, didn't need to be a trilogy.
We used to make fun of it
Yeah.
when we were kids.
No, I mean, it was just a dumb cash grab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Stretched out to 3 movies to get the cash. But yeah.
All right, we do need to talk a little bit of Bad Batch. We've been going for...
Oh, we don't need to, really.
I'm surprised. We've been... Shut up, Greg. We've been going for 2 hours. Almost 2 hours, sorry, while I crunch through this. And it's been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed having John on. Thank you again, John, for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
We will be sort of wrapping up soon, but there was something. There it is. That I wanted to go through. This is the YouTube Star Wars channel. Now, of course, I just dropped a video last night on the, we did a couple more of those High Republic character trailers. There was nothing too bad in comparison to other ones. I just basically made the point that, and it kind of popped into my head last night while I was doing those reviews, is that whether or not they like it or not, everything that they're coming out with right now is an insult to George Lucas. And it's an insult to Star Wars, and it's an insult to the fans. Because
I don't think they care.
No, they don't. That's the thing. They don't care. You're absolutely right. They don't. But it really is very insulting to the fans that kept it alive for as long as they did, to the EU loyalists, to create these stories in and amongst a universe like, I mean, we're going back 400 years in the High Republic. So essentially, they've thrown out the old Republic era, but they want to bring in Revan and this and that. So, it's just everything to me is just a massive insult. And again, because there wasn't anything massively to do with Star Wars, I thought we could watch this. So I'm going to torture all of you.
Oh, fuck you.
Yep. We get to listen to this bitch.
This week, Mcnamara is back as Fennec Shand. Han Solo joins the game, and more. Might want to buckle up, baby.
Okay, first of all, the thing that I hate, Greg's gone.
He's like, I'm out. Peace.
He left.
Peace.
No. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Did he write anything in the backstage? No, he just left.
No.
All right. So, first of all, I made this point in my last Bad Batch. I think it was my last Bad Batch. Or it might have been my last video. Anyway, they're basically making Star Wars for kids, right?
Yep.
Hello, Greg. Welcome back. You had to just run away for a sec, huh?
I didn't want to say that.
So it's so funny. Like, you know, we had that whole thing that Star Wars is for kids. Dude, don't take it so seriously. Excuse me. The funny thing is that they're now making Star Wars for kids, so they can justify them using that statement. And I hate the way that she talks. It's like she's talking to children. You know what I mean?
Do. All of them.
They all do.
Yeah.
Like, they're all basically, you know, that one video making the rounds where that, like, with the lady who is basically trying to say that if you don't like fat chicks, you're like the equivalent of racist. That one, like, put your listening ears on and listen up, and like they all talk like that.
Yeah,
so condescending. Yeah. So I just hate that, but yeah, we're going to suffer through this for 5 minutes. So let's suffer together. Hey, this is what's new in Star Wars right now. This is what's important to Star Wars right now. Again, there's been no Star Wars news. The only Star Wars news that we've had for fucking ages now is basically all just garbage. Either rewriting the movies, the trilogy that they brought out with, coming out with stupid books like The High Republic, or it's the Bad Batch garbage and the Mandalorian garbage, and of course tying all of those stories in together. It wouldn't surprise me if Fennec Shand showed up in the High Republic. They're that fucking stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, well, she was cryo-froze for a long time. That's why she's still alive in the other era.
Hey, this is new, right? And they showed squadrons. Is there some kind of new Pride skins that you can download for the game?
Probably. That's so funny. What was the purpose of that picture of that cat right there?
I think the thinking is like maybe people won't downvote a kitty cat.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at the kindergarten teacher, like pumping the class up for the lesson. You know.
Mm-hmm. Here we go, kids.
Yeah. Now that's a true artist. He's like an earthbound Max Rebo. And even though I consider listening to those little ivories, we should probably get to the news.
She belongs on the USS Discovery.
Here's Pinball VR. That's right. Everyone's favorite smuggler turned rebel hero Han Solo. Set in the classic trilogy era, the brand new table features a massive Millennium Falcon playfield toy, Chewbacca tossing out extra balls like he's the starting pitcher at a Giants game, and a few of your favorite Han Solo lines.
Here's where the fun begins.
You're telling me. Be sure to get this free update starting today in Star Wars Pinball VR, available on all
Wonder if it has Disney trilogy lines.
What you gonna say?
Spoilers. The Alphabet Squadron trilogy has come to an end, and today over on StarWars.com, you can find an in-depth discussion with author Alexander Freed.
So this is the Alphabet Squadron. Thank you. Remember the Alphabet
Yeah. You need to end with that again. So.
We will end with that because we get a mention.
This is the book, by the way, that says they have this supercomputer on Coruscant that tracks every single citizen of the Empire. Where that's not Star Wars. I'm sorry. It makes no sense.
Well, everything that they're creating right now isn't Star Wars. Let's face it.
Correct.
With that, then they can use the precogs to arrest people before they commit crimes.
There'll be no rebellion, right?
What's that called again? That's another Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Minority Report.
Minority Report. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Funny as. All about Erica Quell. Is she dead? Is she alive? Is she good? Is she evil?
Do I care?
Those who dare and, have read the trilogy and want to learn more about this ragtag crew of pilots. Check it out for yourself on StarWars.com/thisweeknow. Yesterday brought us a brand new episode of Star Wars The High Republic Show, and just like usual, it was jam-packed with a slew of High Republic reveals. But we can't let them have all the High Republic era fun. Sorry, Christina. Feast your eyes on this.
Oh my God. Okay. So, first of all, we know that Christina Ariel, the racist herself, is the host of the High Republic show. They've done like 2 episodes, I think, the whole time it's been released or something. I literally watched a little bit of it, and again, that condescending tone comes through, right? Like she's a primary school teacher teaching kids, this is Star Wars. It's so much fun. Like, it's such a, like, I don't know, Saturday morning cartoon bullshit show. And I'm not saying that there aren't kids out there that enjoy Star Wars. I'm sure there are kids out there right now that enjoy Star Wars. At least I hope that their parents are teaching them the right way and making them enjoy the right stuff. But the thing is that the stories, even though you have the OT, right? Whether or not you're young, you're old, whatever, you can enjoy those stories. Now, when I was younger and I watched it, it was just about the flashy lights and about, Luke Skywalker taking down the evil dark dude, right? But then as I got older, it became there was a lot more meaning behind a lot of the scenes. There was a lot more meaning behind the story. And everything that they're doing right now just seems that it's just pushed towards those kids. And it really comes through in the Bad Batch as well.
Hey,
Anyway.
Rhino, could you tell me why you went to a picture from Avengers Endgame?
What, this picture here? Anyway.
Special limited edition copy of Kevin Scott's upcoming book, The Rising Storm, exclusive to out of print. The art features Stellan Geo's double-fisting lightsabers about to go head
Double
to head with
fisting.
Lorna Deep.
Double fisting lightsabers.
Mhm.
What? Did she actually say that?
Yes.
Yeah, let's hear that again.
Just like Andy did me last night.
Copy of Kevin Scott's upcoming book, The Rising Storm, exclusive to out of print. The art features Stellan Geo's double-fisting lightsabers about to go head-to-head with the now Lorna Deep with her own very most impressive weapon. You think when Jedi swing their lightsabers really fast like that, it just kind of acts like a fan? No?
Yeah, because they fly with
because
them.
you can lift off with it, you bitch.
Yeah, you would think that, you fucking idiot.
Look at the art and all the information on this exclusive cover, along with a specially designed tote. Head to StarWars.com/thisweeknow. On Friday, Cornered, the latest Star Wars The Bad Batch episode, debuted on Disney+. This episode had it all. Vorpax? Yes. Clone Trooper dolls that made us long for Jyn Erso and her little pal Stormy? Also yes. And 2 words, Fennec Shand.
Come on. This way.
Ever since we saw Fennec in the trailer and got confirmation from Mcnamara herself, we've been impatiently waiting for Boba Fett's future BFF to make her triumphant return.
Future BFF. Boba Fett's future BFF. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Bad Batch scene as they're talking about the Bad Batch. It is literally The Mandalorian. I've mentioned this multiple times. It is the same plot and story. You've got Omega, the female clone of Jango Fett. They found a way to make Jango a bitch. She's being hunted. The bounty's on her. No one cares about the Bad Batch. No one cares about really their ship. They just want Omega because her blood, like Baby Yoda, or who fucking knows, right? Yes, I agree with you there. Why is it taking so long? OG Star Wars, that Clone Trooper doll. But there is one point that I actually haven't made in any of my reviews, and I kind of noticed it just the other day, and that is that the clones, the Bad Batch clones, are just walking through these places, these planets that they land at in their armor. And they're trying to
Yeah,
fight.
sure, why not?
Right? Now, it's not always like that. They sometimes go out in civilian clothing, but there's, like, when they show up at the beginning of not this episode, the most recent episode, they just roll out in their armor, all good, it's such a stupid. Dave Filoni doesn't care about Star Wars. He says that he does, but then when you see what he's actually bringing into his stories, he's just as woke as the rest of them.
Yeah, and lazy. I think his biggest thing is he's just fucking lazy.
And he's only got one idea, and that is babysitters in space, because he brought that idea into Mando, and he's now brought that idea into the Bad Batch. and it's exactly the same thing. Tim, I know you wanted to say a few things. I know you wanted to say a few things in regards to the Bad Batch. Go for
Well,
it.
no, Laura wants me to show all the stuff they appropriated. So once you're through this video, I can get through it in 2 minutes. I got the page. We'll do that later. But I will say this. Do you know the connection? We talked about remaking the original trilogy. Do you know the connection between that and the redhead chick here? Kristen Baver. She wrote a book that came out about 2 months ago that basically retells the entire what they call the Skywalker saga, and they've already started rewriting it. Like there's those pages I posted on Twitter where they call the team on Endor like Leia's team like 2 or 3 times. Leia's team did this. Leia's strike team did that. That wasn't Leia's team. That was Han's team. So they've already started, and there's some other shit in the book too. So they've already started some dry runs on rewriting the whole saga, so it fits in with their own trilogy. But go.
But yeah, so anyway, the Bad Batch, it's a horrible show. There's another episode coming out tonight, I think it is. For you guys, I think it's Friday. It's not quite there yet, but so I'll be
Can't
reviewing.
wait not to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of really don't want to watch it, but I feel like I'm now that much into it. I need to sort of just finish it and review it for people. And
do like Greg and do Lower Decks, and then don't review the last episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The narrative is fucked. But yes, any
taking a shot. I heard that, Tim. Come on.
Any thoughts on this at all, John? I know you really have been out of the loop.
I haven't been keeping up. Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with it. I just have no interest for any of the stuff that has been displayed. So it's just I'm just so emotionally numb and over anything Disney puts out with Star Wars now, because they've just betrayed our trust, or at least my trust, so many times. So it's like a product, right? If you go and you buy something and at one point you really liked it, but let's say it's a supplement, but let's say they get cheap and they start putting in filler, and it's like the ingredients aren't the same, or it's not as effective. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to stop buying it. It's the same thing when a product, like if a product's, at first it's quality, but then it just goes to crap. Like it doesn't matter. You can put Star Wars on it all you want, but like if Nike or any designer brand out there, they put their logo on crap, like people eventually will stop buying it if the shirts start falling apart and the jeans start, ripping or, it's just, that's where I'm at with it.
So.
Well, see, I find it funny where Star Wars is right now. I mean, for somebody like John, who started his channel as John Talks Star Wars, to now just not be completely, out of touch with Star Wars, doesn't really care about it because he's been emotionally, disconnected, basically forced into emotional disconnection from this series, from this franchise. It's the same thing with Anna, that Star Wars girl. We had her on a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about how she didn't even finish the final episodes of the Clone Wars in that final season. She hasn't watched any of this. She's not really watching The Mandalorian. I think the only real reason why she watches The Mandalorian is because of Baby Yoda, but she knows that the story's shit. So I just find it funny that there's a lot of these fans out there that are just completely emotionally disconnected from it. They hear what's going on and they know that it's just ridiculous, and then they're sort of thanking God that they actually made the move and sort of got away from it, because I know for me, it's definitely a hard thing for me to get away from because of how much I do care about Star Wars, but it pains me sometimes to watch some of these episodes. I really should actually. I'm going to do it tonight. When the episode comes out, I'm going to film myself watching it, because the last one, my reactions to the last one would have been hilarious to actually have shown it. So I'll actually video this one, and I'll see if I can get a few good reactions for you. But yeah, I just find it interesting.
to John's analogy, like I don't know if supplement ideas, like I would liken it to, because I like to compare things to restaurants, as Tim knows. This is like Star Wars was this great steak restaurant, right? It had the best steaks in town. They were always cooked to perfection, awesome cuts of meat, aged to perfection. And now all they serve is chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, like a lot of us are like, but when I go to a steakhouse, I want steak. Unfortunately, there's just hordes of people out there that are, instead just going, well, it's either chicken nuggets or we starve. So I'm going to have the chicken nuggets. And that's why I don't know if Star Wars is really ever going to change back. Because too many people are just like, well, yeah,
settling for...
It's something. I'll take the chicken nuggets, I guess. It's better than starving.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's like, but no, guys, there's like 1,000 other restaurants you can go to. Just stop going there.
Mm-hmm. Or make your own food.
Yeah, or make your own food.
There you go.
Yeah. Cook your own shit. Yeah. I look at this. I look at those characters and I'm just kind of like, please tell me that there's like a thermal detonator about to go off.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe it's those guys from The Mandalorian on the skiffs, right?
Right. I just fucking like, I'm sorry. Like, I chose chicken nuggets for a reason. It's because they're dumbing it down and making it kiddie. Like this stuff. And I just I hate that shit. Star Wars is an all ages property, not a kid's property. And you can do something animated that's not dumbed down to this level.
We did it in the 80s a lot.
Yeah, it's just such a damn pander. Like, little kids in there, so the little kids can identify with the little kid. And
yeah. And here's the thing on the nuggets. Here's why you use that as an analogy. So what chicken nuggets are generally, but not all the time, it's called chopped and formed, right? They take real chicken and then they grind it up and then they put it on a sheet and then it's like a cookie cutter. They cut out these shapes and then they batter them and they freeze them and, they're ready to fry. So they take something real like Star Wars, the chicken, and then they grind it up and then they create this shit. So that's why you use that analogy, Greg.
Well, thank you. I didn't even realize that part of it, but yeah.
Yeah. But like places like Chick-fil-A, it's actual chunks of real chicken. So go to Chick-fil-A. It's awesome.
Yeah, where they
Melissa knows. Melissa knows.
Yeah, there does feel, it does have that like assembly line feel to it. Mm-hmm. Like in terms of after Disney, like even with all the stuff that they're rolling out, it feels like ever since they got Star Wars, it's like they could not wait to release that, episode 7.
Yep.
And I remember when they made that announcement, they didn't take their time with it. Mm-mm. And they just rushed it out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's assembly line, especially their TV shows. I think that's even worse than their movies as far as just the assembly line nature of it. Like, I think the movies are worse as a whole.
Yep.
But these things are just, like you said, this is the Mandalorian plot recycled.
Well, yeah, the last two things have pretty much been the exact same plot, the exact same story, just different characters. Even like the last episode that we had, it was literally land somewhere because they need repairs. Do something for the person so that they can do something for them, but they go and risk their lives to save a Rancor, and then they come back, and the information that they get, they want to find out who this bounty hunter is, who Fennec Shan is. The information that they find out is her name. That is it. That is it. They do all this work.
So exciting.
To get a name. And it's just like, what? Like, the importance of this kid is just so ridiculous. It's just so funny. I can't wait for it to tie into something because it's just going to be so bad. Like, what is Omega's importance to the sequel trilogy, right? It'll be that she is the one that ended up fucking Palpatine, right?
She's
Rey's
gonna
grandmother.
fuck Palpatine's clone, so it's going to be
That's Rey's mother.
Rey Palpatine Skywalker Fett.
Yeah. Oh, so anyway,
Double hyphenated last name. Yeah.
we'll see where it goes. But anyway, let's finish this up. We're halfway through, nearly done through the torture.
What we found was Fennec Shand going after Omega, but we must protect her at all costs. Good thing Hunter, Wrecker,
Why?
and the rest of the gang were on it, even if Fennec proved that she is quite the formidable opponent when it comes to hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, but she's new to the guild.
Oh, that had to hurt. Things are getting interesting out there.
Was that the big tough guy that she just?
Yeah, Wrecker. He literally goes. And this is the thing in that scene. They're in these tunnels. They're in these underground tunnels, right? And he's got Omega, and Omega just wants to go now. She's like really sad and just being a kid now. All right, you get to the ship, and he puts her where this ladder is that goes up, right? And you would think that it goes up to the street because she went down from the street level down to the sewer level. Anyway, she goes up, and then all of a sudden she comes out, and she's on this at the top of a high rise. She's at the top of a high rise.
Very tall ladder.
Man, tell me about it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then she's hanging from this thing, and then Hunter saves her and shit. But yeah, Fennec, she's new to the guild, but she's a formidable. You know, if somebody's after you, if she's after you, she's apparently got a big enough name that if she's after you, you know, you've really got something that's really wanted or needed in the galaxy.
See, and I just don't think that's accurate at all, because I happen to watch The Mandalorian, and after all these years in season 1 of The Mandalorian of being a bounty hunter, she lets the most retarded Mandalorian to ever live get the best on her. Like, Din Djarin as a character is the dumbest box of rocks to have ever lived in a galaxy far, far away. Like, the guy is stupid.
Well, remember,
and she gets like outfoxed by him.
Yeah, just to interject really quick here, I think on one of our Friday morning streams after the episode that we talked about it, I think I described it as if Din Djarin is like a video game character, right? Then he's being played by like your retarded little brother. That's basically what Din Djarin was. So
yeah,
who's just mashing the buttons just nonstop.
Yeah.
I mean, like, does Fennec Shand is she able to like aim a weapon over a distance, or is it like the Mandalorian where she's aiming at Baby Yoda, but if you actually look at it, she's like aiming 700 feet above his head?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway,
it's stupid.
You should speed this up to 1.5.
Tomorrow streaming only on Disney+. And if you're hungry for even more intel about Clone Force 99, the official StarWars.com episode guides have you covered. Find out what last week's episode has to do with George Lucas's cameo character, Baron Papa Noida, and Star Wars Resistance.
That was George Lucas's character.
Gallery, and check out the episode gallery. Some sweet data bank entries. Why, yes, we do have one on Clink, and our favorite quotes and episode highlights.
Clink, it's this droid that it looks like a astromech droid, but instead it's got like arms that like it looks like it can extend the arms a little bit like this.
They made it the robot thing from the stupid video game.
Yeah.
What stupid video game?
Fallen Order.
Oh no, not even. It's worse than that.
Ugh.
It looks way worse than that. Hang on, let me
quotes
see.
And episode highlights.
No.
Fans of the why, yes, we do have one on Clink. And
oh man, I hate how there's no go back 10 like a couple of seconds.
Move on.
There we go.
Look, Clink.
See his arms and his legs.
Wow.
He's not on rollers like these other astromech droids.
Mm-hmm.
He's like I don't know, like a little kid.
There you go.
Droid. Anyway.
Clink, and our favorite quotes and episode highlights. Fans of The Mandalorian saw the return of one of the greatest bounty hunters of all time in the last episode of The Bad Batch, and we loved it. So much.
The best bounty hunters of all time, Fennec Shand. She's been in 2 fucking shows. We've never seen her catch a bounty.
Based on what?
Yeah. So, anyway. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
what
going
a
to keep going.
Asked head writer Jennifer Corbett and supervising director Brad Rao what it was like bringing Fennec Shand into the world of animation. Let's see what they had to say.
When we see her in the Bad Batch, she's so awesome, but she's also just beginning her career as a bounty hunter. So playing around with what that means and how she accomplishes her goals is really interesting. Having Ming-Na Wen voice the character was so critical and so key, and she's just incredible.
Yes, Queen. Yes. She's just she's awesome. Awesome tackling.
And incredible.
And incredible.
Did I mention incredible? Yeah.
This is Star Wars news for the week, guys.
Mhm.
This, like, again, there was nothing really much to talk about. So I thought, let's see what Star Wars has to say about what news they've got.
The design and how the hair worked, and it's just like, wow, yeah, Ming-Na, let's do everything you're talking about.
I can help with that. Not to worry.
Having the Bad Batch go against Fennec, and when we see the Bad Batch, how strong they are, and then she kind of just takes them down left and right, like, ooh, it's really, really fun, dramatic.
Oh! So she's new to the guild. She's
nice freeze frame there.
Yeah.
Where's who's a good memer? We need some feet in his mouth, or maybe some dicks in his mouth. Who knows? Fucking
with the feed. So this is considered a great thing, right? So you bring in a new character to the show, and she just like walks through your main cast like fucking nothing, and that's considered good.
Yeah, because it's a woman. If it was the other way around, let's say it was 4 female babysitters in space, and they were looking after a little boy, and this guy came along and beat him up. Well, what would be fucking sexist show?
Well, this is something that happens. You know, whenever you have these like shared universes and things like that, it's one of the things that frustrates me about cinematic universes and like comic universes is that basically you can do these things in there. Is just the next writer comes along, creates a character, and is like, oh, but my character is now the greatest, one of the greatest bounty hunters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you said it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, my character is the bestest ever. And then the next writer comes along and is like, well, my character is going to beat your character. So my character is not the best ever.
What they're doing is...
And let me say to all the people out there that enjoy The Mandalorian and love The Mandalorian, what do you think the Book of Boba Fett's going to be about? What do you think the Book of Boba Fett's going to be about? You really think it's going to be about Boba Fett? After you're hearing what this guy's saying about Fennec Shand and how they brought her now into the continuity 25 years before she actually makes an appearance in... and
already apparently made her one of the best bounty hunters ever.
Yeah, what they're doing is, in The Princess Bride, whenever they change who the Dread Pirate Roberts is, they just start calling the new guy Dread Pirate Roberts, and after a while, everyone believes it. That's what they're doing with this bounty hunter chick.
John's sitting there.
He's the best ever.
John's sitting there behind his avatar, just going, "Fuck, why'd I come on this stream?"
He's not denying it. So
it's not. Yeah, that's right.
I'm here. I'm just not wearing pants.
No, that's all right.
Yeah,
man.
seriously,
I am wearing
video.
shorts here. I am wearing shorts.
But yeah, I do find it funny how it's a very good thing that Fennec Shand's able to be introduced as a new bounty hunter. She's already fantastic, and she can already walk through your entire Bad Batch crew, basically. She was on
a sabbatical during the Empire Strikes Back. That's why she wasn't there to talk to Vader.
She was in Empire.
Yeah, she was on a sabbatical.
He wanted all the. She might have been pregnant. Maybe she's had a kid during Empire Strikes Back, and that's why she wasn't on the ship. Because Vader.
Well, I hope she took advantage of it because now she's got like the bionic, abdomen. She probably can't have kids.
True. Sure.
Like looks like it took out some of the more important birthing parts there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish this off.
storytelling.
It speaks to just the Batch's skill set and how they're used to dealing with issues versus Fennec, because Fennec is street smart and the Batch is more about battlefront experience, and those are two very different things. So you really get to see how she schools them in a sense, but it's also part of their growth and how they're learning to
Do they school her?
Galaxy as a different type of soldier.
They win. They get away with Omega. She like in that scene where you see the crash ship and she's sort of there, she does like a superhero landing from miles up high and then she limps away. So she did hurt herself. But, you know, she doesn't win the day in this particular episode, but she definitely does. You know, I mean, you see the way she takes Wrecker out. I mean, Wrecker's supposed to be, can pick up a tank basically. You know, superpowers.
Thanks, you two. That's it for this week. But for
Thanks,
more
you
news,
two.
stories, and other news from around the galaxy, check out StarWars.com. And be sure to join us right here for This Week in Star Wars every Thursday, except not next Thursday because we're taking a short break. But we'll be back in June.
Because there's nothing to talk
watching.
about.
Always be with you.
Thursday is the 5th day of the week. No, I mean,
Well,
the
that's what's new in Star Wars news at the moment, which is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
I was going to go through. We pretty much talked about the Bad Batch. This episode was literally they needed to find the Rancor that apparently was.
Oh, jeez.
That apparently was or wasn't the Rancor in Return of the Jedi. Who fucking knows?
Because we need that tied in. Like we need to know that Rancor's fucking origin story.
Well,
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, right at the end of the episode, you've got where if I can just find a good picture of it here somewhere. Here we go. That's a great shot, actually. Perfect shot. So, the very end, this is what I mean about them making this show for kids, right? So, have a look at this. So, that's Omega riding the Rancor back into town because Wrecker beat the Rancor up. He can beat a Rancor up. He can fist fight a Rancor till they both get tired and he dominates. So he gets, you know, to control the Rancor because, whoever dominates gets to, control them. But he can't take out Fennec Shan. He can run towards her and get knocked out
Time
in
out.
one hit.
That's how,
but he can take...
That's how Rancors work? You just got to dominate them and then you control them?
and then you've controlled them.
That just ruins Return of the Jedi for me now because, like, I'm picturing that guy in the Rancor pit that cries when it dies. Like, how the fuck does that guy dominate the Rancor?
Yeah, but he might have done it when it was a child.
I'm thinking it's in a way that's not appropriate.
Well, and they wrote him on Dathomir in the expanded universe, but it's because they were domesticated ones, not one of these ones that Jabba had bought for the express purpose of feeding people to it. So, big difference.
I just find it funny that they've got to bring in Bid Fortuna. He's the one that's basically got a bounty out to get the Rancor back for Jabba. And that's the premise of this story. And like I said, they go through all of this. They fight the... she gets her little comm wrist as well, and she finds a weapon. So they've got to save these slaves from the slave traders, and to do all of that and risk their lives and all of this kind of stuff. She finds her weapon as well, which is always nice. You know, her figurine is complete now. She's got a comm wrist link thing, and she's got a weapon, so that when you buy her action figure, she comes complete. Anyway, where's that? Yeah, see, Wrecker. He's just got to beat the Rancor, and the Rancor will be loyal to him. But I still don't understand when they're walking into town and fucking, fucking Rancor sitting on his shoulders. And anyway, the information that they get is literally her name is Fennec Shan. Before we go into what you've got there, Tim, John, you've got to jump out. Do you want to jump out now?
Yeah, if that's okay. I want to say
thank you for coming on. Thank you. I appreciate having you on. Go on. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh no, I was just going to say I appreciate the invite, Ryan. Always good to hang out with you. I know feels like it's been a little while since we've been hanging out. So it's always good to kind of catch up with you. And yeah, just thanks for having me. Also, Lost Jedi and Open Airlock. Always good to see you guys too.
You too, John.
Thank you for coming on, John. It's always a pleasure having you on. I know that you're not too interested in the Star Wars stuff, so I thank you for coming on, putting up with it. But
no, it's all good.
I think it was a good conversation. Sort of stayed away from Star Wars a little bit in the beginning, which, you know, great chat. But thank you again for coming on. You've been a great inspiration for me in my channel and everything. So I thank you. And before you go, let everyone know where they can find you. They're probably already all subscribed to you, but please let everyone know.
Yeah, well, actually, if you're interested, if anybody's interested out there, I have a couple different channels, John Talks Entertainment and John Talks Life, and I'm going to try to get those rolling and get those going. So if you want to subscribe to those, you know, that would be great. If it's your thing. On the John Talks Life channel, we're going to be doing kind of more just like practical life stuff in terms of, you know, just how to be more productive and effective with your time. So a little bit of a deviation or something different from usually what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if that interests you, John Talks Life and then John Talks Entertainment is basically going to be what my channel used to be. So in terms of entertainment. So that's it. So appreciate the opportunity to plug those. And yeah, it's been fun.
No, thanks, man. Thanks again. Well, have a good night, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk soon. Everybody in the chat, you guys are awesome, and just appreciate all of you. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you later.
Later, dude. Awesome having John on. As you've probably noticed, I've had I've got my usual people that have always got an open invite to my stream. But then each week I'm trying to have a special guest. Last week we had OG Star Wars. The week before we had Anna, that Star Wars girl. And today we get John Talks, which was really awesome. And again, I know John's been sort of a little bit more out of the loop with Star Wars and stuff like that. But, you know, his channel used to be John Talks Star Wars. And I do find it funny how a lot of these Star Wars channels out there, they don't like talking about Star Wars anymore. It's hilarious to me. So this is what you wanted to talk about in regards to the Bad Batch stuff, right, Tim?
Yeah, and I'm using Brave this time so I don't get a bunch of stupid ads. But I'm just going to go through because most Wikipedia articles have this on a production where it shows here are all the references. A lot of times there's some inaccuracies, but it's, you know, pretty close. So I'm just going to show everyone because once I started reading this original, this script, whatever, this summary, I'm like, holy shit, look at all these things that they're sneaking in here just to make people, you know, on Twitter go, yay, I'm clapping. They're pulling stuff in from the EU and stuff like that. So here we go. You've got you got Bib Fortuna. Hey, remember Bib Fortuna? You got the Gonki droid. You've got don't tell me this is what I think it is. Because there is an Ewok named Ketch, but it's spelled differently in the expanded universe. That's not it. You've got Fennec Shen. Remember Fennec Shen? And then the Faline. That's what Prince Shizor is from Shadows of the Empire. What they're saying here down at the bottom in Alien Species is that where the hell are the alien species? Here it is. Someone's updated it since then, but they were trying to say that Faline, that's the name of his green, you know, species. It was a first appearance when in the Phantom Menace, you can see Prince Shizor in the stands because they used action figures. So that actually counts as a first appearance. So anyway, that species they brought back in from the expanded universe. Let's see what else they've done. They've done, hey, remember Rancors?
Yes, it's in the chat. It's the ancient one.
Ancient. Oh, Ord Mantell. Remember Ord Mantell? You know, we had to go to Ormantel because Han says it.
Oh, yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Kuat. They mentioned Kuat. Pantora. That's the planet where George Lucas's character is from. That Baron Papa Noida, whatever that character he dressed up as for the last movie's planet is. Let's see. Bounty Hunters Guild, but they've talked about that in The Mandalorian. Let's see. I saw some other shit in here. Zygerian Slavers. That's from the expanded universe. From like the West End role-playing game books. You've got... Yeah. We've seen all that shit. Let's see.
While you're still going through
Katarn class commando armor. Katarn. That's either an animal or it's Kyle Katarn, the character from the expanded universe. You've got... What the hell else did I see in here?
I just want to give a quick shout out to Ali Moses. I've been talking to him in DMs a bit, and he's got a channel that he's sort of been starting with. It's another Aussie guy. Please go and give him a subscribe if you can. Go and watch his stuff. You know, cool, seems like a cool dude. You might get him on one of these days soon.
Yeah. So Laura will love this. Wyron's Reserve, which is a Carillion whiskey that they do in the X-Wing books. Every time they win a battle, they'll take a shot of Wyron's. It's now in Disney continuity, so they've appropriated that. And then the Utaguta is the name of another drink. That's what's his name? Greedo says to Han. It goes on and on. This episode was chock full of stuff. And one thing I wanted to show Greg that he will love this. I've been waiting to tell him. So what they did with this Rancor is, I saw your video. They rescue the person and they think, hey, you're Moochie or whatever its name is. But no, I'm not Moochie. That's Moochie. And it's the Rancor. So they could do a gotcha, right? That's why they did that. And then when they get back, it says Echo tells Sid she should have told them they were dealing with the Rancor, just like Baby Yoda. Hey, there's this 50-year-old. We're trying to find a fit. So they dug a hole. So guess what the response is? Sid claims that it slipped her mind. That's it. So just to explain away the reason to have a gotcha, it's just, the character says it slipped their mind. Oh, you're going to rescue a Rancor. That's cartoon, kiddie, childish storytelling. And it's
a really, really lazy misdirect. It's like the laziest form of misdirect like ever.
Gotcha.
Well, it's almost like they're trying to put that "I'm your father, got you" moment in nearly everything and anything. It doesn't matter the premise of what it is or the importance of it or whatever. It seems like they've got to give you some sort of little mystery box, and then they'll open that mystery box either in that same episode or they'll never open the mystery box. Because you think about, again, tracking fobs. We still got no explanation. They're trying to write it, I reckon, using the Bad Batch by bringing in the chain codes and making those so important. But then that brings me then to the OT. And why didn't we see any chain codes during the OT? Because they're so relevant before or after Order 66, and they're so relevant in The Mandalorian that why don't we see anything about chain codes in the OT? Like, that these people that are creating this shit don't even think. And this is what makes me think that, yes, there's probably going to be some relevance to them rebooting the OT. They'll fit their tracking fobs in somehow, right? Boba Fett, they'll have that scene in Empire when Vader's got all the bounty hunters there. Fennec Shan will now be there, right? And she'll be the one, not Boba. She'll be the one to find and have she'll be the one that owes or wants the bounty for Boba. Sorry, for Boba. It's just it's so ridiculous. They just don't think. These people over there, they don't think. And Dave Filoni is supposed to be this all savior. Is that right, Star Wars Theory? Is that what I'm hearing from you and your 3,000 subscribers? The fucking
3 million. Yeah.
Sorry, 3 million subscribers. Thank you for correcting me. the Dave Filoni.
It pains me to say it. Trust me.
And you promote that shit. Okay. All right. Or you've got some other people out there with all their fucking sources, right? And their fucking, you know, ability to, you know, give you this hope that Kathleen Kennedy's out or fucking what?
Well,
Give me a fucking bucket. Like, seriously, give me a fucking bucket. So I can.
Well, I was gonna say it's okay
that'll be a new
because
character, Bucket of Vomit.
It's okay because when they remake the original trilogy and probably the prequels, it'll be in this alternate universe where the Mandalorian exists, and then they'll do away with the Disney trilogy, right? That's what we were told about. What 5 months ago? That was the narrative that Mandalorian in an alternate universe. It's not part of the Disney trilogy universe, even though they directly reference events that led up to it. It's still in an alternate universe because Favreau is in a cold civil insurrection war against Kathleen Kennedy and her allies in a corporation that is trying to make money. Anyway, it's all stupid.
I did see that.
Rhino shirt says it all. Buy a shirt from Rhino.
Yes, my shirt says it all. The narrative's fucked. But yes, Soul Assassin, you're absolutely right. So listen to this, guys. You know how Echo in the Bad Batch, one of the clones, he's been turned into like half a cyborg, right? And he's got that thing, you know, that thing that like Lobot has got that sits like around his head like this, right? He's got sort of something like that, but it's completely attached. Now, there was all this criticism coming out about how does Echo put his helmet on, right? The helmet, literally, it's this enclosed case. How does that helmet get around these big headphone kind of things when the helmet literally fits around his face like this, right? And then the very next episode, they made a point to show a scene of it's almost from the back of his head. He puts his helmet on, and the helmet's actually got this device now, like this hydraulic device that wraps around that bit. And now there's a hole in the back of his helmet, right? Where that piece fits. Right, absolutely ridiculous. It's like they don't think about it. When the fans start to think about it, it's like, oh fuck, well that's an easy fix, right? We'll just you know make this hydraulic helmet. Go back 2 episodes before that, when he takes his helmet off and puts it down. There's no opening at the back for that plate, right? They do listen to the fans. The problem is that they fix the minor things, right? So instead of fixing how tracking fobs work or fixing the hyperspace fuck-ups that they've done or any of those things, when somebody comes out and says, oh, how can Echo put in his helmet? They're like, oh, yeah, he's right. We better fix that. So we'll make his helmet have a hole in the back so he can put it on his head, okay?
Well, because that's easy, and that's just directing the animators to come up with something. That's different than actually writing the show.
Yeah.
So you're talking about two different types, 2 different people who would do that. So Filoni's just got to say, hey, make the helmet do something so it works, so people get off my back, and that's about as much work as he put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just up to the animators to come up with something that looked plausible, or whatever.
I just find it funny.
Ultimately,
you just got to they have to retcon their own shit. In an episode immediately after when they create something, because they don't
that one's just like, okay, they're correcting a mistake. I mean, stupid that they made the mistake in the first place, but I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, but it's like
honestly,
that person saying with the lightsaber in that comic book, with the lightsaber going down the tree, and they stop with the lightsaber in the tree, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't really work, does it?" Like, you're a fucking idiot. How does that get through? How does that get through?
They don't care.
They don't. They don't.
Here's the thing: like, you get upset about the people that are worshiping Dave Filoni. Just understand and take pleasure in that they are going to get exactly the Star Wars they deserve.
Get what you fucking deserve.
They do get what they deserve. They're the ones that
get exactly what they deserve.
Praising the shit out of the Mandalorian, right?
Mediocre at best. Garbage that's insignificant.
It's not even mediocre.
Who's talking about the Bad Batch?
Yeah, no one. I hope you all know that if you were praising the Mandalorian, you were basically spitting in George Lucas's face. Huh. Ironic, huh? Ironic. Anyway, look, I don't know. I'm gonna watch the Bad Batch tonight. There's episode fucking 6 coming out. I'm really curious on where this is going, and I really feel like I'm curious because I feel like this is going to end on a mystery box, right? We're still not going to know why Omega is all important. We're not going to know what why they're trying to hunt her or anything. Is it her blood? Is it the ability that they gave her superpower that they gave to her? I mean, this chick throughout this series has been able to figure everything out. They go into the bar. They go to see this guy Sid or this chick Sid, right? They have no idea what the person looks like, even though Echo's heard about this person for some reason. Just convenient. But then they're like, oh, we're looking for Sid. And they're like, there's no Sid here. Get out if you're not going to buy drinks. And Omega walks right over to the chick that they were just talking to and goes, you're Sid. She goes, you're smarter than your friends. Like, it's so bad. And I'm just curious to see where it's actually going to go. Yeah. Anyway. G'day, Tim. How you doing, mate? Look, we've been going for almost 3 hours, which is actually one of our longer ones. It's been a good stream. I actually enjoyed more the beginning part of the stream than talking about the Star Wars stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think we'll start to wrap it up here because there's not really too much more, like I said, to talk about. Have you guys got anything that you want to quickly talk about that we haven't spoken about?
Not really.
No?
No.
What are you reading in the EU at the moment, Tim?
I am reading the third book in Legacy of the Force, Tempest by Troy Denning. And honestly, I'm a little surprised that out of the first 3 books of 9, his is the weakest so far. I have enjoyed the first 2 more, Betrayal by Aaron Alston and Bloodlines by Karen Travis. But I'm not saying it's boring. It's just the tone is completely different than the other 2, and I'm trying to see where it's going. But the good news is they did a rotation, so Aaron Alston is up next in the 4th book. And I feel bad because 2 different book clubs were doing Labyrinth of Evil, which I finally own. I bought it about 6 months ago. I haven't read it yet, so I'm not going to be able to participate in either one, but I'll read it someday. So, yeah, that's what I'm reading. Haven't read Heart of the Jedi yet, and I'm not going to read my copies. I'm going to read it online so I can keep those in nice condition so that I can sell them sometime.
I think Star Wars, if they maintain what they're doing at the moment, I mean, Star Wars is never going to die, I don't think, because but the heart and soul of it's gone, so it will diminish. And I don't know whether or not the High Republic's going to lose money. I don't see how it can make money if you're selling it off. If you're selling it off as Star Wars,
it's not going to lose money.
Mm.
You got to remember, like these things cost. They're spending almost nothing. They're spending almost nothing to make it.
Fuck all.
I mean, if they're selling these books at $10 a crack, they hardly need to sell anything to make what they're paying the author back plus printing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why they're bringing in these people you've never heard of, and maybe 1 or 2 authors like Zahn that actually have experience, because they can say, hey, you like Star Wars? Then come right over here. Give us a sample. Because all these people used to do different stuff, like Daniel Jose Older, the piece of shit. He used to be an EMT.
Yeah.
And now he writes Star Wars books. Fuck him. I mean,
yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're probably paying these people next to nothing to write Star Wars books.
Yep.
Star Wars, the biggest franchise.
Well, we know that they're not even paying the royalties still to their to the people that they should be.
I think Alan Dean finally got a settlement, but there's others. There are others that were not getting paid. Michael A. Stackpole, and a few others have come forward too.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that we don't have the money, because Greg pointed out months ago, the money comes from the book being sold. That's why it's a royalty. So if that book gets sold, that's when they get their cut. So why the fuck can't you pay them? Just like I found out something about someone in my company, an executive, that wouldn't pay his lawn cutting service their last payment because he called and he claims he told him he canceled. They came out and mowed, and it's $200 and he won't pay him. Fuck you, you multimillionaire piece of shit.
Hey, I will say this about like a Revan mini. I don't want them to do Revan.
No,
I don't want Disney to touch anything to do with the EU.
They've got to make her a woman.
They've got to stop picking from the EU, as far as I'm concerned. Either do the expanded universe, or I know it's not going to happen. But like, no, I don't want them touching Revan at all. I don't want them touching anything from the expanded universe at all. But they keep doing it. So, anyway. Let's go round the table and sort of just plug our shit.
Are you doing
Tim,
links or am I doing links? Who's doing links?
Are you able to do links for me, please?
That was my last Jedi moment. So, yeah. So,
well, I'll go.
Or Laura can do links. I don't know.
Oh, Laura, she's in the chat. If you can help us out, please. Any mods that are in the chat, please help us out with some links here. So, Tim, open airlock policy. Please let everyone know where they can find you and what you've got coming up, please.
Yeah, so open airlock policy, and most of you are probably subscribed. I just checked earlier, and I'm past 1070 subscribers, so on the way to 1100. Great. I'm trending in that area, but I also surpassed 3,400 watch hours, so I need 600 more.
Yes.
And just think about it. If 10 of you watch for 8 hours a day, that's 80 hours a day. After 1 week, it's like 2 spacings will do it. 2 Friday night streams will do it. So help me out. Just go to my channel, go to one of my playlists, or just hit play all, whichever, and just do that. Tell a friend. Watch my documentary. Tell your friends about the documentary. I don't know anyone that has said it was absolutely terrible. Some people have disagreed with some stuff in it, and I'd love to hear if you do disagree, so I can tell you why you're wrong. But yeah, and I'm working on a Corellia lore video that should be pretty long, 25, 30 minutes. Haven't had time to work on it during the week, but Saturday and Sunday I worked on it for hours and hours. So it's going to be another long one with lots of pictures and fun stuff, and not just the same old garbage you see like at Star Wars Explained. I'm going to go behind the scenes, like where did Lucas get the idea and the name for Corellia, all that type of stuff. That's coming up tomorrow night. The Spacing Lost Jedi 22 here and I are on, and it's going to be a little bit about nerd topics, but we're going to just say fuck it and start talking about all this current event stuff with Fauci and with what's going on in your country, Rhino, and Victoria and Canada. Some very scary things going on in Canada. What the fuck else? Corporations going woke and all this stuff, and what does it really mean? So it should be a really good and informative conversation. So love having Greg on. I think we have the best conversations and streams. And then maybe Sunday night we'll be back for Star Trek 2009 Part 2 because we ran out of time.
Man, that Part 1 was a great conversation.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
There's a lot to go through. There's a lot to go through in that.
What are we, maybe about halfway done with the movie?
Yeah, we're almost done. We have like probably 30 minutes or less in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you're probably going to be talking about that for like 2 hours. But
because there's a lot to unpack, because I think
there
we're
is.
going to get into like his whole motivations and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that was a really good stream to watch. And so, yes, everyone, please go and subscribe to Tim, Open Airlock Policy. Please watch his stuff.
10:35 Central tomorrow night after Friday night.
Be there.
Thanks, Rhino.
And yes, everyone, please go and support him. John China, again, a.k.a. Tuscan Bob, a.k.a. Lost Jedi 22, a.k.a. Greg. Please let everyone know where they can find you and where hopefully we're going to get some John China videos.
Don't have any John China videos on deck at the moment, but they can find me at Lost Jedi 22 on Twitter, Lost Jedi 22 on YouTube. And, as John China, I want to express my deepest sympathies to LeBron China for the fact that his ass just got eliminated from the playoffs. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck LA.
Fuck shit. Awesome. Everyone go and subscribe to John China, or it's actually Lost Jedi 22. In all honesty, Ancient One, I don't know how to raid. I was just going to send people over to the Jack Show. Just because that's, Anna's on there. I like to support her. She's given me a massive help and all of that shit. So I honestly don't know how to raid. As for me, I'm an idiot because I actually forgot to ask John my special guest questions in regards to what's his favorite Star Wars movie, moment, and fight, which I'll try not to forget for my next special guest, whoever that may be. I would just like to thank my patrons. We've got Daniel James, Lethal Lightning, Tim, Open Airlock Policy, Lady Tariel, My Nerdy Home, Steph, Riff Magos, and Skimitar. I also want to say Skimitar messaged me last night and he's not able to always make every one of my streams. So to those people that do watch this on the playback, I thank you all for watching, supporting. Please go and subscribe to all the amazing people that have been on the show tonight and other nights as well. So thank you. I will be doing the Bad Batch episode 6 review. I will be, hopefully that'll be on time this week. What else have I got going on? There'll be, of course, Casual Rage next week. Depending on what happens with the lockdowns, that might be a day earlier this coming week. So we'll see what happens there. And I'm working on a couple of other little bits and pieces. So again, stay tuned, stay subscribed. We've got some good things, or I've got some good things sort of happening. So thank you everyone for being here. Everyone in the chat. No, that's not Charles Keeley. That's Eric there. He's finally decided to say hello to everyone. Eric, say hello. That's funny. All right, everyone. Again, thank you everyone in the chat for your super chats. I will leave you with the clip that we've been leaving you with for the past few nights, or few streams, I should say, and that is the Alphabet Squadrons. Good night, everyone, and thank you.
I'll fix it. A little bit more. Turn a little bit more to the.
That better?
There it is. There it is.
I see what I look like on the playback.
You're fine. It's fine. You want to sit in your bed?
I'm missing my bottom teeth, and I've got a triple chin.
Derp. Derp.
I make Star Wars.
He looks like Kramer addressing Newman.
He does. He does. He looks like he's like, Tim, what the fuck? Oh my god, that's great though, Tim. That's great, man.
Yeah, I'll fix yours right.
Birds of Prey is going to deal with the misogynistic crowd that you guys have to deal with on a daily basis. I'm missing my bottom teeth.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I know. Oh my god, dude. Rhino looks like he's gonna take a bite out of Tim's head. Nom 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 nom. Yeah.
Hey Tim, that ale looks quite delicious.
Oh boy.
Hey, I like the way you style your hair. It's kind of cool.
Man.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. Wow. Oh,
Are
that's
you
fantastic.
semi-bisexual like me?
Mike
You can be a
Tyson right
part
now.
of our Alphabet Squadrons. Yes, the Alphabet Squadrons.